What's this here?
It's interesting.
Oh, look. LeBron talks to ESPN.
Look, I think we all saw the comments you had to say today about the game, and I'm just interested in this sincerely. What matters about the conversation that surrounds your game to you and the stars in the league? What about it is significant? Because I try to dismiss it as it relates to us, but I'm not you all. What matters to you?
What matters to me when it comes to my generation and the younger generation that's in our league now is that, I mean, we play it for the love of the game. You know, we're not out here cheating the game. You know, we putting the grind in. We putting the time in. You know, we've always, gave up and gave props to the generation that came before us. Always bigged them up because we know without them it would not have been us. And we're just trying to carry on tradition. You know, my generation, me, Steph, KD, Russ, James, Kawhi, the rest of our crew. And then we got the younger generation that's doing their thing as well. So, we love what we do, and it's a responsibility for all of us to continue to press the game, push the game in a positive factor for all our fans all over America and all over the world, because it's the best, most beautiful game in the world. You know, when you watch basketball, you're basically listening to music. You're listening to jazz music, R&B music, rap music, hard, heavy metal music, everything essential with that. So, it's a beautiful game. We're all in a position to play this game, and we're here for a reason, but, we don't never take it for granted. So I hope everybody see that when we hit the floor.
What the fuck did he say? He didn't say anything. He never says anything. He didn't say a goddamn thing, bro. What the hell did he say? What's up, Lee? What did he say?
What's going on? What was the question?
Anything, bro. Let me play.
I think we all saw the comments you had to say today about the game, and I'm just interested in this sincerely. What matters about the conversation that surrounds your game to you and the stars in the league? What about it is significant? Because I try to dismiss it as it relates to us, but I'm not you all. What matters to you?
What matters to me when it comes to my generation and the younger generation that's in our league now is that, I mean, we play it for the love of the game. We're not out here cheating the game. We putting the grind in. We putting the time in. We've always, gave up and gave props to the generation that came before us. Always bigged them up because we know without them.
What you say?
There's two lies that were just said there.
Go ahead. Let me hear him.
So the second lie, the first one I want to point to is when he said, "Oh, we always give credit to the previous generation." Do y'all really?
So here's what he's saying.
His coach literally was one of the few people who coined the 80s era, Plumbers era. Is that giving credit to the previous?
No, absolutely not.
If you're constantly say you're better than Jordan, and the people around you saying DeMar DeRozan is essentially Jordan, is that crediting the previous generation?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
These are all his people.
These are nasty conversations, by the way, because when you're going to sit there and tell us, like,
you're going to gaslight everybody. That's what
bro. We ain't dumb. Hell is he talking about?
And then he's saying, "Oh yeah, we take every game seriously, like you did the All-Star game. You didn't even show up to the Bay till Sunday. Really? And then you could have actually told people 2 weeks ago you couldn't have played and gave someone your spot, but you didn't want to do that. That's what I'm saying. The gaslighting and the lies, bro. It's like what he's saying is, I agree with everything he's saying, but he doesn't live up to it. Nor do the people around him do.
So you're telling me because Barkley critiques him, now it turns into a whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Barkley's been critiquing people for decades, bro. For decades. That's not why the league is in the place it's in. Like when Kobe played, he was critiquing Kobe.
This is what's going on. Ratings are down. The commentators are saying the game sucks. Right? Players are in their feelings, and they're going back and blaming the commentators saying that the game sucks.
Right.
Let me tell you whose fault it is. It's the fucking NBA's fault. Because they had to all right. In 2016, right? We were up 3-1. And the league had to get involved. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And how many times have I said something about unintended consequences?
All the time.
Okay, so they fucked with the outcome of the finals, right? They fucked with it. Suspend Draymond. When the fuck do you actually ever see a retroactive suspension?
Never.
You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if he got ejected in the game, whatever, right? But guess what? They needed to extend the finals because the Cavs were getting fucking dog walked, right? And then you suspend the second best player on the team. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't even the NBA's initial thought. They got the thought from Windhorse
Exactly.
and LeBron.
So one of his ESPN media people brought him the idea, okay? And then you suspend somebody. And then after that, the NBA was playing one-sided basketball. Let's call it for what it is. Everybody and their mama knew what was going on, right? All of a sudden, Steph is just getting fucking fouled off the ball, on the ball, left, right, and center. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, the shit is way, way, way more physical. One way, by the way, because anytime the Warriors got physical, a whistle blew.
Yep.
Next thing you know, we're in a game 7. Right? I've seen this story a million times. So they fuck with the outcome. You cannot tell me otherwise. They did.
Mm-hmm.
They fuck with the outcome, right? So the Warriors ended up losing, right? And then guess what happened after that? Then you got Kevin Durant. And then that's when the real fucking crying started. Good. Yep. I'm glad you were crying.
Yep.
Because guess what? Bron was beating Kevin Durant before every single time. But what was the difference now?
Exactly. And it wasn't like the teams that KD were on when Bron beat them weren't good. James Harden, Russell Westbrook were on those teams.
And then next thing you hear, I'm getting everybody tell me about, oh, look at Kevin Durant. He's this and he's that and blah, 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 blah. And then when you're ready to bash KD, you prop up Steph. When you're ready to prop up Steph, you bash KD. And it just went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Meanwhile, this bum is getting called the best player in the league while he's walking off the court with his fucking eyes in his fucking jersey.
Baby.
That's what happened, right?
Yep.
So I'm not trying to hear this bullshit, bro, about, oh my God, the league, blah, blah, blah. I'm crying. What the hell are you crying about? Stop the fucking crying, bro, because I literally watched this man use the media, ESPN, right, and force a suspension. I watched it real time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I watched it. Like, so now the shit's not in your favor? They lost. And the media was telling us about how the Warriors' rings weren't real and all of this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? ESPN for years did that. For years. Dave McMenamin, one of his guys. This, that, oh, not Steph Curry ain't this, Steph Curry ain't that. Bro, Steph Curry is fucking breaking basketball. Literally breaking basketball. And I had bozos on fucking ESPN telling me that it wasn't because of him. The fuck are we talking about here, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why we're so militant over here? It's because of him. It's because of Windhorse.
And the constant gaslighting for like a decade.
Constant gaslighting. Do you know why I'm so angry? It's because of shit like that.
And then you have new Warriors fans believing in the gaslighting.
Yeah, bro. It's like, bro, this is why that Nick Wright shit cuts so deep, right? And when I see people up there twerking for him, bro, it really, really gets under my skin, dog. It really gets under my skin.
Yep.
This man is up here talking about the nonsense, bro.
We never discredit the past pledges. My God, what a lie, bro. The coach you did video with, literally every single podcast would discredit the 80s. Why do you think 80s players hate that guy? Because he discredited their era.
Plumbers and this
That's
and that.
your peer. That's the dude you put on the Lakers as a coach.
You think they haven't heard that?
We don't disrespect previous eras. Straight up gaslighting, bro.
Shit's ridiculous, bro. This shit's ridiculous. Absolutely outrageous. So I'm not trying to hear none of this, bro, because I literally watched that man. And you know what pisses me off about that 16 finals, bro, is that they were losing, right? And then he went roughhousing, right? Steps over Draymond, puts his fucking nutsack on his head. Draymond taps him on the back of his leg, and Draymond gets a flagrant? What? They were getting dog walked, bro. They were literally getting dog walked. All of a sudden, they switched up the dynamics of the series. Why? Because this fuck was losing? Give me a fucking break, bro. And then for a half decade, I had people tell me, well, Steph ain't this. Finals MVP. Blah, 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 blah. You know that Steph led his team in scoring and assists. And I literally watched them suck this man off. The media, by the way, Jeff Zilgit and those fucking fruits sucked off LeBron the whole goddamn time, right? Sucked him off, losing, shooting 38 fucking percent in a series, right? And I literally watched them do that shit to them, bro. I literally watched them do that, right? Next thing you know, you're hearing some fucking dweeb tell me about finals MVP. Are you fucking kidding me? 49% true shooting. But because he's LeBron and LeBron was doing the heavy lifting, bro, like what was Luka doing any different in 2022? I was saying it facetiously then. I was like, I dare you to give Luka a vote. I dare you. I triple, quadruple, 20x it, try to give this man any votes. And you know why I was doing that? Because it's the same shit that Luka did that Bron did in 15. Matter of fact, he probably played better. And now you got two of them dudes on your team. No goddamn shame. No goddamn shame. He has so much horse tranquilizer up him, he's probably going to grow a tail.
Yo, Urk, why are you so mad, bro?
Because, bro, this fuck triggers me, bro. Like, he's such a...
He just defended Steph Curry in a tweet, bro.
I don't give a shit. He's a clown.
Urkel, bro.
He's a clown.
Are you mad that we lost or we look good? We look elite?
Of course you're going to look elite. You got 2 top 5 players on your squad.
Yeah, but they're not good as your top 2 players.
And when they lose, you're going to hear, oh, it's Vando's fault. Oh, it's Corey and Finney Smith's fault.
Can you admit we look better defensively than you guys?
No,
I
you
have a
don't.
question. I have a question, Matt. How come every time y'all response is never to the point, but always why you mad?
Because, bro, like you guys hate LeBron. Like LeBron just got on Twitter the other day and said all we should be talking about is Steph Curry.
So let me ask you this: if Trump was saying like all this wild stuff about a particular
Bro, and
culture,
you're gonna compare the GOAT to
no,
fucking Trump?
I'm not comparing him per se. It could be anybody. You could put Trump. You could be Kanye West. It could be Jay-Z. If Jay-Z was to say something like, "Oh yeah, um, all rap from the '80s was trash," and I say, "Wow, Jay-Z was like dissing the previous legends," you're gonna say, "Why you mad?" Does that disregard what I just questioned?
No.
There you go. So it's like, look, if some guy is lying, right, saying like nobody discredits the '80s, none of the people he's essentially partnered with discredit the '80s, when in fact, particular podcast he was on was discrediting '80s, and you actually call it out, why you gonna say, why you mad, bro? Like, I'm calling out the hypocrisy. that's just what took place. It's not a lie. That's what took place. It's not to be mad or whatever. Who cares about how I feel about a particular thing if I'm calling something that's a discrepancy? The thing is, you have me on your side if you give me some credible points to refute what I gotta say. But the things that I have issues with LeBron are legit. It's not just me being mad. You there?
Matt, Lee, I promise you, he didn't hear a thing that you just said, bro. He's zoned out right now. He's zoned out right now, bro. I know him, dog.
Yeah, I'm showering.
His attention span is like 0.
No, I'm listening, bro. I'm showering.
Yeah. Bro, but he had a good question though. How the Lakers defense how their defense look this good right now?
It does look good. It does look good. 5 in a row. I'm happy for him, man. Who do they play next?
We play the Clippers. We play the Clippers again.
You play the Clippers again on Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So you play the Clippers at Clippers, I'm assuming. No, you play them in Los Angeles. So y'all got a 4-gamer at home.
Y'all just helping us.
Yeah.
It's a win-win in the end.
Yeah. I still want them to lose, though. Bro, they're not. It defies logic, bro.
I know.
And they're not that good. Like, they're actually not that good.
Oracle, you gotta stop lying to yourself. We're good, bro.
Urkel hates the Lakers more than he loves the Warriors. No. No, that's not true at all. But I really want to see y'all lose. I really, really want to see y'all lose. It might seem like that, but no.
Hey, Eric, did you see that video that's been circling around on Twitter where someone got footage of Steph in Orlando, but it was like courtside?
No.
I'll send it
Drop
to
it in
you.
the chat. Yeah.
Bro,
Drop it in the chat real quick.
it sounded like Oracle on the road.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. But drop it in the chat anyway. Yeah.
You got it.
You're supposed to be good. You got Luka. May Nicole, 100%. They should be good. They 100% should be good. How we feeling about tonight? We got Philly tonight. Bro, we should win this game. There's no Embiid.
Yes, sir. Yeah, here's the video. You know what's funny, Eric, is the folks are always saying, y'all still talking about Bron, but they in here trying to police us from talking about Bron each time we bring him up. The Bron
Believe it or
police. The Bron police.
Let me tell you something, bro. They actually love, like, when I talk about Bron, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do.
Because they will come up and try to stop me from talking about Warrior stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Next thing you know, and I know Warrior fans get annoyed at this, but it's the Laker fans, bro. Like, they then change the topic from anything Warrior thing that I'm talking about, and I'm like, all right, bro, y'all got it, man.
Yes.
Happens all the time.
It was like that in the Prime Spaces days, too.
Oh, my God. It would come up there. Mike would come up there, and he would always talk about the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Mike, you're aware this is a Warrior Spaces, right? Like, yeah, but Magic Johnson, 1985. Oh, shit. What is that? Lee, I've been to Chase Center a lot, right? I don't even think Chase Center is that lively half the time. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I don't think Chase Center is that lively. Yo, unanimously, Magic Johnson.
Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy, Irk?
Bro, like, I've been to Chase Center a lot since what, 2019, right? It opened in the first game was October of 2019. It was against the Clippers. So it's been open, what, 6 years? And I've probably been there maybe every year since, right? Well, no, not 20 to 21. I didn't go. There was COVID and all of that shit, right? But after that, I went to a bunch of games at Chase. You know, I would fly up for the day, you know, fly out the next morning. A bunch of times I did that. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The only time I really heard Chase be like this loud is in a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? Because I think fans have become spoiled to a certain extent. You know, like they become really, really spoiled in a. Or if it's like a big game or something like that, then the crowd will show out. You know what I'm saying? But aside from that, you know, they're kind of just like, and they're just used to like a lot of winning, right? So that's where we are. This is PS1. This is louder than a home game. That's kind of what I'm saying, bro. It's louder than a home game. That's beautiful stuff, man.
Oh, look what Trench Baby put in the chat. So the refs do be colluding with LeBron. Wow. You see this? These refs are fans, bro. That's why they be getting all the calls.
Coffee finds Vanderbilt. He got a couple of threes the other night from the corner. That one's knocked out of bounds. 3.5 to shoot. 2.5 to go in the first. And the Lakers.
Wow, that's nasty, bro. That's so nasty. Oh, that is so nasty.
What?
That is nasty.
Coffee finds Vanderbilt. He got a couple of threes the other night from the corner. That one's knocked out of bounds. 3.5 to shoot. 2.5 to go in the first. And the Lakers. Coffee.
Irk, you know what that reminds me of? You ever seen just another Marvel MCU reference, Winter Soldier?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the scene where people were going around saying Hell Hydra?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Ridiculous, dog. Ridiculous.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
Ardot gets the reference.
Man. This is crazy stuff. You need more calls? Why do you need more calls for?
Y'all have like the highest free throw differential in the last 5 years. Give us more. The shield has been compromised. That's correct, Jay.
Oh my God.
How you feel about today, Eric? Aren't you anticipating these games in the same way maybe a decade ago?
Am I anticipating the games the same way?
Yeah, or this isn't the hype to that degree back for you.
No.
No?
Hmm.
Why not?
Because I feel like, you see, because I've seen so much bad shit happen, it's almost like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like I expect them to win, but I'm also like, cautiously optimistic at the same time, right? Like the minute I start to see them seep back into bad habits, you know what I'm saying? But I do expect them to win. Matter of fact, I was looking at my FanDuel this morning. I've actually made money so far. I've made money on the bet. So I've made, let me see here. This morning I made another $50 this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They want you to pull out. Pause.
They want me to cash out, bro. Yeah. Not pulling out though. Not pulling out. Now, the only thing that I need to happen is for Rudy Gobert to win Depoy. Only put 10. I think I put 20 on that one. So Rudy Gobert wins Depoy and the Warriors win. If that happens, $80,000. Thing is, I don't think Rudy Gobert is going to win though.
No,
don't think he's going to win. Yeah, he has like a back injury. Yeah. But I feel good about tonight though. I'm a little bit more excited. But there is a lot of people on the timeline. You know what, bro? Like, damn, people on the timeline. I gotta ignore people on the timeline. Like, they've sucked the fun out of it for me. Not everyone is a fucking expert.
When Shadow said his reasons for not doing Pump Up the Jam yesterday, that was sad.
Yeah.
And like that just shows you the place in terms of where the fan base is right now.
Yeah, but Shadow needs to understand that he's a black man. And not only is he a black man, but he's a dark-skinned black man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the darker the skin, the greater the hate, right? And that's what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a loud, dark black man from Ghana via Toronto that's saying that. So that's why people are that's what's going on there. Or they hear my voice and they hear an accent, right? And they get mad.
Mm-hmm.
And you wonder why people gatekeep shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what's going on here. Because then,
what's that?
Hey, Zach, what's going on? Then I hear people like, how do I know this, Lee? Because I watch what people say. I watch carefully what people say. And I see the language and the wording and all of that, right? But because we are loud up here and we want to see the team win, people are mad at it. Plus, there's also like a clout function, you know what I'm saying? Where, we're up here talking, we're entertaining, we have takes, we're laughing with each other, and here we are. So that's what it is.
Real quick, King Solomon, not the flex you think it to be.
King, I don't care what y'all say. The minute Steph gets number 5, it's over, bro.
Yep.
It's over. All them little cutesy stats, all that little nonsense, because this is what's going on right now. You got Luka Doncic on your team.
Exactly.
You are winning, right? So if you don't win and Steph Curry wins, it's over. The debate is you would have to win at ages 41 and 42. You know what I'm saying? That's what would have to happen. Luka would have to carry you to a title. And Right. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And you see what Bron is doing, Lee? That man is still not letting Luka cook.
Yep. You let him cook like a few possessions, but in the end, it's like, I'm the Suge Knight of this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And he speaks he speaks a good game in the media.
He
But
does.
you can tell, like, Luka is there. Luka went to the finals last year, right? And you see what the Bron media people are doing. It's almost like they want to son Luka. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Luka's going to learn from LeBron. What the fuck is he going to learn from LeBron?
You remember they tried to do that with Kyrie?
Yeah. You're going to learn from LeBron. Sit your old ass down, bro.
They even said, Kyrie, is LeBron like a father figure to you? You remember that?
Yeah. How to take care of his body. I think Luka got it, bro.
It was his men who asked Samuel. So, yes, it is his fault.
How to take care of his body. What? Bend over and have them bend over, pull his pants down, and so they can poke? That's how he take care of his body?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Gets to the bloodstream.
The fact, hey, look, L-Dot, the fact that he stuttered through it and still got it all out. It's like, it's so like it's starting to work because of the stuttering.
Oh my God. Hey, but Lee.
Yes, sir.
Look at this, man. Plenty of green in here, bro. I love seeing green.
Yeah.
Lots of greens.
5
Lots
in
of
a
green in
row,
here.
though, bro. That's big time.
Plenty of green in here, man.
But it's good that we got this schedule.
So we won in Utah, right? This was a big win, by the way. And then we turn around and then we lose this bullshit. You know, if it weren't for this Utah game and this stupid LA game that we probably should have won,
yeah,
this is a really, really impressive stretch. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we are like, say, 2 bullshit games away from really, really making some noise, right? But it's fine.
You can even count the Dallas game we lost after Milwaukee, because there was a lot of malarkey in that game too.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right, Mr. Dub Nation.
What's going to happen with Joel Embiid, do you think?
Legion Hoops tweet kind of echoed my sentiments. If it doesn't get right, it's going to be retirement.
He's not going to retire. He's just going to get his money, you know.
But you could tell when he plays, he just looks out of shape.
He looks out of shape, and I think his will is gone, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
His will is gone. Sometimes you can just look at an athlete and you can just tell his soul has been broken. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all think his career is going to be over before he ever touches the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yes.
Damn. That's actually pretty crazy when you think about that. For a player like him, that's crazy.
Yeah. Unless he gets traded to like a contender, I think the Sixers' chances of making it to the finals are done. That's over. Especially with how the East is now. Boston and now Cleveland. They ain't getting anywhere. They ain't going anywhere.
Man. I Hey, Lee.
Yeah.
Did you see that Golden took a picture with Austin Reeves?
Yeah, like the picture too.
Oh shit. Golden look like he got connects, bro.
Yeah, he
God damn.
He definitely does.
I've seen him like take pictures with like Genie Bus and all of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, trust it. I saw that, bro. I don't know if a lot of those concepts are going to come into fruition, but
Yeah.
crazy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
No ladies on the platform up here, Bruce. What's
Man,
going
there's
on?
ladies listening, man. You can't be naive. There's ladies listening, brother. Can't be naive.
Ladies listening, the
That's the
real ones.
most.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
we've had some bad characters try to pack us up back in the day, Bruce.
Yeah. Oh, I've been here for it. The Esquires and those alike. Trust me, I've been here for it.
They try to pack us up, dog. Like,
how dare we not love God's beautiful creation named women? You mad?
and
How you doing, Bruce?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. Sleeping peacefully, as Urkel said these days, with the Warriors winning games. You know what I mean?
Yes,
yep.
sir.
Yeah, man. I need Steph to get fired, man. They could
Yeah.
argue over who got Finals MVPs. I don't care nothing about that.
Nope.
Lee, speaking of which, remember when I told y'all in 20? See, here's another thing too. You know the Warrior fans like fell for that Finals MVP shit as well.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? When I tell you I don't care about the Finals MVP shit, I just don't, because I've just watched and I'm too smart for that. Like I consider myself a smart person, and I'm just too smart for that argument, right? Because I saw what happened, right?
We know that Steph was the best player in all the finals he played.
Every single one. There wasn't a final that he wasn't the damn best player in. Every single one.
That's why when Matt be talking about
Urkel,
that shit
one of these
pisses me off.
days,
He knows he was the best player.
one of these days when you got Tom Irk, I just want you to throw up a Detroit Pistons Laker Finals game and just show me who's defending Shaquille O'Neal and tell me if that individual won Finals MVP for guarding what people say the guy that carried Kobe. Show me if that individual won Finals MVP or if it was Chauncey Billups who was not guarding the better players on the other end.
That's a really good fucking point.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about it that way.
Come on, man. We not new to this, bro. Like Tony Parker won Finals MVP in 07. Did anybody say he's better than Tim Duncan? Did we hear anybody say the the big fundamentals career is now being challenged? We never heard that.
No.
We never heard that.
Who do you guys think is like whose Finals MVP was the reason for all these narratives that came around? Was it Kawhi or was it Iggy?
I think with Kawhi, here's why Kawhi was Teflon.
You know, it started with Kawhi though. That's actually
Kawhi, but he was actually Teflon because of the pedigree of Popovich and the pedigree of the Spurs, right?
But go ahead, Bruce. I'm sorry.
So just from my fan eye, Lee, I think that Finals MVP was justified because it's not like the Spurs had a more dynamic player in that series to definitively say, you know what? I think everything is going through this guy, but LeBron was at the peak of his powers. Kawhi, we saw the impact Kawhi did defensively. And I might argue Kawhi was better defensively than Andre Iguodala even was the following year, right? And okay, he's inserted into the starting lineup, but he's literally not creating anything on offense. Like Steph is the offense for Golden State. We've seen it with Kevin Durant. Like, bro, I just seen. Did y'all see the clip? Kevin Durant punched somebody last night.
Mm-hmm.
This is how frustrated he is, and the reality is, y'all could keep hiding behind Finals MVP. He can't be fully optimized without being next to Steph. So
That boy
if
punched that man like a monkey.
y'all cannot see that every single success that Golden State had, from point in time 2015 to even now was Steph Curry, you're an idiot. So I just feel like the Giants, the media pawns, and the personalities, the collaborative talent statements, and those little blanket quotes. I think that was all strategic. I think so. I think they were all strategic.
Yeah, I would say to that, Bruce, like you're right in regards to how the Finals MVP was voted on at the time why they gave it to Kawhi. That kind of started the thought process of how that 2015 Finals MVP was voted on. But I'm looking up the stats right now from that Miami Spurs series, and I'm trying to see, like, on the Spurs team, like, Who had the highest points per game average in that series?
And remember, that run was a historical playoff run from start
Yeah,
playoff series 1 to the last series. It was always a balanced team.
yeah, it was
It
It
was a
was never
balance.
for
a guy.
sure. Yeah,
It
it
was
was. It
never
was
a guy
balanced.
averaging 28 points and another guy
Right.
averaging 14.
Right. But the funny thing is, Steph was clearly the best player on the Warriors in 2015.
Correct.
So that particular finals MVP was influenced by a number of different things. Like, people wanted to give the MVP to LeBron.
Right.
There was a lot of people in his media saying he needs to get the MVP. Look at what he's doing with all these numbers. And that's when I think statistics like became the qualifier versus winning. And that particular finals changed the way, in a lot of ways, basketball discourse is discussed. In basketball,
Morning, gentlemen.
suffered because
More
most people, right, when they watch sports, especially when it comes to football, they root for their team, right? They want to see their team win a Super Bowl versus like their favorite player win a Super Bowl MVP, right? So the NBA went a different direction and was like, it's all about the stats, it's all about the stats. So I think that's why the league is not necessarily as popular anymore, because the people don't really resonate with that. There's only a small contingent of people.
Let me tell you this. In my humble opinion, Dot, when I was a kid growing up, bro, and we was, wearing British Knights or wearing Patrick Ewing's or watching a Spike Lee commercial with Jordan or looking at Little Penny Hardaway commercials and so on, you knew who the best person was because of winning. I don't remember as a kid growing up people telling me who the best player was, being forced to receive who the best player was. You turn on your video game. Jordan didn't even have his name. He didn't have a picture. He was roster unknown. You feel what I'm saying? 99
Yep.
overall, 99 and damn near everything. Nobody wanted to use the Chicago Bulls because it's like unfair. You get what I'm saying? So like I feel like now losing since LeBron has been they've tried to force LeBron on everybody. Losing is now glamorized. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, bruh. Dog, you mean to tell me Luka
Oh, he's in the
Doncic versus
10
the Celtics?
finals.
Luka Doncic just averaged 29 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. You tell me what is it different, right, than what LeBron did? He led the entire playoffs in points, rebounds, steals, threes, and I want to say there was probably one of the stat he led the box scoring. He led all those things. That's the same stat pattern effect. Why didn't nobody say Luka Doncic deserve Finals MVP votes?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Come on,
because
like
he
we got to
doesn't
stop
have
hiding
Hey,
people
under a rock.
Bruce.
We
he
got
doesn't
to
have
stop
people
hiding
pay,
under a rock.
he doesn't have people paying for narratives in the media, or paying
We
people for
we
narrative.
we got to stop hiding
So,
under a rock.
Yeah. What's up, man?
so can
What
I
up,
say this?
Matt?
What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Wagwan.
Yeah,
So I'm
man.
gonna say this, man. The reason why the product is like what it is today is because they never really kept it about winning. Somebody would win something, and then the other side, just for narrative purposes, oh yeah, he had to do so much, he never had a team. No, I don't
Exactly.
care. I don't care if you had to do with high schoolers. You got to the finals and you lost. You do not it's like you do not give somebody a reward for losing, bro. You lost. Take it like a man because you lost. Everything is like, oh, there has to be a reason why I lost. It must be this and that why I lost. No, no, no,
That's
no.
LeBron
So
fans,
then
man. That's how they work.
so then these kids seeing that now in the league, some of these players will be like, "Oh, okay, I just care about my stats because it doesn't matter if I win. I want to say I did A, B, C, D, and E, and um, that will be more beneficial than actually winning, bro. You can't tell me that Steph having only one Finals MVP is not a crime against the league. I don't care
Yeah,
what
it's
anybody
collusion.
say.
It's
But you know
collusion.
what's
It's
funny?
collusion.
You know what's funny to me is when people say, "Oh, he only has one Finals MVP." Kobe only has 2. He wasn't getting Finals MVP every particular Finals. Somebody kills him for that. I think Larry Bird only
No,
has 2.
but
Tim
see,
Duncan only has
I
like
would
3.
say
I'm like,
this.
what?
I would say this in Kobe's defense because I am pro Kobe. And I look,
I'm not. And I know what you're
th-
gonna say, Bruce. I'm not saying he didn't
there's a
deserve that
narrative
or
against
whatever.
Kobe too. There's a
Right.
narrative against
There
Kobe too.
is, but the point is, like in these conversations now, because Kobe is considered like top 5 in a lot of people's lists,
Right.
right?
But
And Steph get one more Finals MVP. Like, are we gonna say he only has 2? Most of the greatest players
here,
in NBA history have 2. Like, what are you talking about?
here's what a lot of people do, L, because like I said, from the moment that I understood the game as a young kid to this point, the rankings always change. Like, when we were a kid, you know what I mean? Jordan, those guys were cementing themselves into wherever they were. You know what I mean? Like Tim Duncan was drafted many years after, and he began to cement himself into most people's top 10 rankings based on whether they want to consider him a power forward, a center, which they consider him a power forward for traditional and for all-time rankings, even though he played more years at center, right? But bro, like I said, to me, when you talk about Larry and Magic saving the game, and people constantly reiterate that, that's beautiful, right? But nobody ever discredited Magic, who Kareem had already won Finals MVP in Milwaukee, right? Had already won a championship. Nobody discredits Kareem, who couldn't get out of the second round with the LA Lakers until Magic was drafted, and then Bird only has 3 championships, right? I like Larry Bird, and I got his game on VHS and everything, and I still watch the highlights of the Celtics and things like that. But I look at the game, and Larry Bird is probably the best white individual to play the game and win titles and win MVPs. So for me, it's like most people keep him cemented. They don't want to move him, right? And because Magic is so dear to them, they don't want to move him. But the reality is, bro, some of these people is not as good as they make it seem. Like you ask a lot of people, they say Hakeem is probably 6 or 7 all time. Hakeem didn't win until Jordan was forced to retire, bro. You get what I'm
Bruce.
saying? And not to shit on Hakeem, I think Hakeem was special. Probably one of the best defensive centers ever, and the most fundamentally sound centers ever, right? But bro, let's be real. You mean to tell me he's accomplished more than Steph Curry?
Mm-hmm.
Or you just
Hey,
using
Bruce.
nostalgia because you don't want to readjust your rankings? What up, G?
Bruce, and for everybody on the stage, man. Yeah, we can let's all agree that Braun is the GOAT. We're gonna agree Braun is the GOAT. But let's like put some simple facts into it. GOAT of what?
Agreed.
Not the player. Not all time, but he's the GOAT. Because this man has been in the league from he was like 15 until 40. So then if
Damn.
common stats and common knowledge, bro, the more tries you get at something, the more accomplishments you would get, right?
You would think.
So if you have all this time to do all of this thing. So yeah, it's not about winning. It's like, yeah, I was able to do it because I was in the league from I was 15. This man has been in the league all his life. Of course he's gonna have all of these records because he's what? He's a somewhat adequate player. So what? Why wouldn't he have all of these stats? So you're using his longevity argument to do something with winning, which is conflating two forms of data.
Let
The
me tell
guys
you
that
this.
had to do, yeah,
No, go. I'm just saying longevity can't do it for me. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
that's what I'm
No,
saying. But that's his argument. He's using longevity. Oh yeah, I've been here for this.
let me tell you something, man. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You can't use longevity because at the end of the day, you were stacking the deck, bro. You were stacking the deck. You know what I'm saying? Like you went in to take an exam and you already had the answers, and you want people to praise you for getting a 95 on it or an 100. No, I can't. I can't reward you for that. I can't reward you for that. If Steph Curry had Kevin Durant for more than 3 years as teammates, what y'all boys think would have happened?
Oh, he have like 5, 6 rings already.
Like, let's just be honest. Let's
The
just be
thing,
honest.
I saw Golden Knight in the chat. Shout out to Golden. He was like, the difference between 1 and 2 Finals MVP is an entire championship and winning Finals MVP at it. That's a huge gap, especially at this age. And I asked him this question because Finals MVP just symbolizes who's the best player on the court in the finals for certain people. So you telling me 2 of those finals, at least 2, Steph wasn't the best player in the finals? We already know 2015 was a sham.
Hell
So
does.
because He doesn't have that actual award when we clearly see, and it's been retroactively said by multiple voters, I should have voted for Steph because he doesn't actually have the award. But we actually saw with our own eyes and stats that say he was the best player. We're going to disqualify him when he
L.
actually
Dot.
was the best player because he doesn't have the votes. Clearly, when
Who
a voting is influenced by a particular group of people who have been running the league for the last 10 years.
L. Dot. What sports brand is an essential giant compared to its cohorts?
Nike.
Is it fair to say that Nike does probably a better job, whether it's marketing through a commercial, through a Twitter snippet, soundbite, like they did Wemby's little alien, introduction and so on? Is it fair to say that Nike's the leader as of right now than everybody else?
Yep, that's correct.
And is it fair or naive to think that has something to do with pushing you as a player in the league?
Big time.
So Brian Windhorst, who went to the same high school as LeBron James in Akron, Ohio, right? At different times, might I add. He even spoke about LeBron accepting that deal with Nike before joining the league is essentially what put him in that conversation. And we're in 23 is what put him in that conversation. We got to stop being naive to not think that, these businesses don't do things strategically, right? We believe everything is organic. No, some of these things is targeted marketing, and you can just learn that and just you don't need a degree for that. You can get a minor in that, and you can learn these things. Kevin Durant, if anybody followed him right from what his shoes costed initially, what his merch costed initially, when he first started, was the backpack kid wearing the glasses, doing the playoff interviews, to when they were losing, right, and not getting the job done, to when he went to Silicon Valley, the revenue went up, right? And then we hear the conversation. Nike sent somebody out there like a Trojan horse to be, to fight against Under Armour because what Under Armour was doing. Don't get it twisted. I think they were successful. Lee probably could have had more success, right? But if you can't see, right, that like the regular season, we never seen Kevin Durant average 35 and Steph average 20 points. You never seen that. But only in one or two particular series is what makes you say that this individual is better, and then negating everything else, even though one player is being triple teamed, one player has won before, one player has won after, even with lesser talent. We're going to ignore that. Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't be a purist for
Hey,
the game.
Bruce.
You can't be a purist.
Hold on real quick, man. So people are saying, oh, it's conspiracy theories that are taking place on the stage right now. So ESPN, and I know you guys are like probably 20, 21 now, but about 10 years ago when you guys were kids, there was a whole article that put out by Ethan Strauss, who was a Warriors beat writer for ESPN, titled Sneaker Wars. And it detailed exactly what Bruce is saying right now. These aren't this isn't conjecture. This isn't stuff we made up. This has been well documented by reputable people in the media in regards to what takes place with these shoe companies. You got some, Merc?
I said, Brian, you got to be better, bro. Like, what you mean? I got this. I said, I don't care about no stats. You got to be. He said, what you want me to do, T-Lou? Guard Draymond, I got this. I said, I don't care about no stats. You got this. I said, I don't care about no stats. You got to be this. I said, I don't care about no stats. You got to be this. I said, I don't care about no stats. You got to be this. I said, I don't care about no stats. You get this. I said, I don't care about no stats. You get this. I said, I don't care about no.
What?
Wow. Is this recent?
Wow.
Is this recent?
Hey, can I chime in with something?
Yeah.
I got a series of questions, right? Y'all know Steph Curry's jersey number, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know KD's, Kobe's jersey number, right? And Jordan's number.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which other
Correct.
superstar has to latch onto another man's number for stardom, bro?
Are you cooking?
Yep.
No. Everybody's saying the he's the golden whatever. He literally had to latch onto that number for notoriety, bro. You
nothing
hanging
was
on.
authentic.
Nothing was authentic, bro. You have to latch on. All of these other superstars, they did it with their own number. Remember, he went to 6, right? I think it was number 6, and he
because
quickly had to switch back.
Miami got 23 retired. That's why. So he wore 6. His Olympic number.
So then what? And then you had to go back to 23.
Right.
You couldn't pick another number.
And
You had to do a number that symbolizes.
And what drove me crazy as a Kobe Bryant fan, and you know, a lot of so-called Laker fans are idiots because if you're a Laker fan, you wouldn't allow this to fly. Just like you wouldn't allow somebody to come to Miami and wear number 3, right? You go to LA, you wear one jersey number, and then you switch the jersey number. People could say anything they want to say. Like I said, I got a minor in that, so they can't fool me. I know what organic marketing look like and what targeted marketing looks like, right? This dude trying to inflect the jersey sales and pull a Kobe Bryant. And you know, I would appreciate the game more if you said, in a tribute to the late Bean, I'm gonna switch my jersey number and kind of do something that Kobe did. I could look at that and say, you know what, I respect that. I appreciate that. The fact that you don't do it, and then you talk about, oh, you wanted to wear this number, and AD was gonna wear this number. Y'all niggas is liars, man. Y'all are very strategic, man. Like girls can't even come in a room without signing an NDA, and you gonna tell me you ain't have this jersey conversation situated? Come on, man, stop playing with me, man. Trolls don't know this game. They really don't know these people in real life. You feel what I'm saying? So they could say anything in the playback chat, and I could care less. You know what I mean? But
And
bro,
Bruce,
you don't go to Kobe's team and wear 2 jersey numbers like Kobe Bryant did, and then not give credence to Kobe Bryant. Stop it. That's
and
too gazy.
No stats. You got to
Bruce,
be. What you want me to do, T. Lou? Guard Draymond, be aggressive, shoot the ball, stop turning the ball over. Anything else?
People always debated who's the greatest player of all time. Dumb question. It should be who's the greatest team of all time. You know, there are so many teams to choose from. The 91 Chicago Bulls, sorry Showtime. The 92 Bulls, back to back. 93 Bulls, first three-peat. 97 Bulls, even with the flu. 98 Bulls, no push-off. And my favorite, the 96 Chicago Bulls. 72 wins, tough to beat that. What? You think there's someone else? Prove it.
I said, Bron, I don't care about no stats. I said, 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 I don't care about no stats. I got this. I said, I don't care about no stats. 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 I said, I don't care about no stats.
So
hey, Erk, I
he
gotta
really,
say this.
he really cares about his stats more than winning, bro.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
a tell you.
Eldot,
Talu's saying that.
Eldot, I got a question, right? Well, a statement or so. Right, everybody that say Bron is better than Steph, right? That's what people are saying, right? Did Steph need to go to another man's team to win his first ring?
No,
Oh no, right?
no.
He didn't need to go to another man's team to win his first ring. He stayed there and won his first ring.
Man, you know why? One thing I learned, never like root for another man's downfall. So in no way, shape, or form am I saying that. But based off of all the trolls and all the narratives that were created, you know how much joy I find it to watch Kevin Durant form all these super teams in Brooklyn and Phoenix, and they just can't get the job done, right? Steph is not even doing the numbers Booker's doing this year or the numbers Kevin Durant is doing because people like numbers, right? Why they can't win no games? Kevin Durant, I don't know if you talked about it, Irk. He punched somebody last night, bro. I've seen Steph Curry frustrated, throw a mouthpiece, kick a chair. I've never seen him punch a person because he's frustrated.
You think it's getting to him?
What the hell you mean if it's getting to him? Who like losing, dog? Who like losing, Irk? Who
Y'all
like
saw that
losing?
punch though? That punch was a little.
Come on, bro.
You know
Nobody
what I
like
mean.
losing, bro. Nobody like losing.
If you know what I mean, that punch
How
was a
is
little.
it that this person is so-called better than Steph, but even with more help, cannot get back to the same results? This is the
Can I,
Finals
can,
MVP.
can I ask a quick question
Kawhi
to
Leonard,
Yo,
everyone?
Finals MVP.
side.
Yeah, go ahead. Ask a quick question.
And this is for anyone on the panel can answer. If Steph Curry had 4 Finals MVPs and 30,000 points, would you guys be sitting up here trying to tell people that those things don't matter?
Context all
depends.
matters.
It
No,
depends.
no, no,
It
no, no.
depends, King.
Would you be sitting here
Yeah.
Undercover
pretending
Lakers
King,
fans.
it depends.
like those things don't matter?
It depends, King. King, you know the thing about you, King? Here's the thing. I think that's a great, marvelous question. I think that's a
It
great
is
question.
because the answer is no. You would
No,
not.
no, no.
You would
But here's
not
the
act like
thing.
those things don't
Here's
matter.
no, but here's the thing, King.
You don't think that's
Sometimes,
disrespectful to the
hold
game
up,
of
King,
basketball?
King. This is the reason why I said I always have to like to preface and give you your props and your flowers. I think it takes a certain type of mindset to be a musical engineer, genuinely, because I've been around music my entire life. And so when you bring these questions to the table or the platform, and then I'm struggling how you are struggling to comprehend the basic conversation. You feel me? You just like to ignore certain things, and you have a specific agenda. You talk about agenda, right? You came in here for at least a year and a half or two saying you were a Warrior fan,
And I am,
and then
and is, and is.
somebody discovered you were actually a Laker fan, right? And
Like
all of the
90% of the people in here. Continue.
well, I mean,
Ooh,
if that floats your boat, then
90%.
if that floats your boat, then beautiful. All I'm simply saying is I just think it's strange that if you are a Warrior fan, whether you are objective or not, and Steph Curry is the face of this franchise, I just find it strange that you always go to the defense of his arch nemesis or anybody who rivals anything Golden State more than you do the defense of said franchise player that you support.
So we said a lot of words, but what we did not do was answer the question. There is no way if Steph Curry had 4 Finals MVPs, 30,000 points, 10,000 assists, that you guys would be sitting up here disrespecting the game and acting like those things don't matter when they have always mattered.
Let me ask you a question, King. It's a twofold question, by the way. Who was the better player, Shaq or Kobe, during their run?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay. Who won Finals MVP when the Detroit Pistons beat the Los Angeles Lakers in the finals?
Chauncey Billups.
Why did he win Finals MVP? Did he guard Shaquille O'Neal?
No.
So why didn't they give it to the guy who guarded
What does this
the
have to
best
do with
player?
the price of
No,
tea in
I am
China?
hold on, King. We're just having basketball conversation. I'm simply asking who was the best player in the world during the Shaq and Kobe run, King?
I have to say, off the top of my head, I'd have to say Shaq.
Okay, and I asked you who was better, Shaq or Kobe? You said Shaq, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is, if we're just bringing it fast forward, bringing it to the Golden State Warriors, why does Andre Iguodala receive Finals MVP, right, but not Ben Wallace?
Okay, that's a fair point. Can we admit that media bias and people getting it wrong is not unique to Steph Curry? We can admit that, right?
Oh, did you just say people getting it wrong? You're absolutely right. I appreciate that, King.
Right.
I
So
can appreciate that.
Hold on. Time out. So Bruce,
No, I'm just saying I appreciate it. I've never agreed with you before.
Hold on. We can say that the wrong person won. I can say that the wrong person is president. But at the end of the day, you have to deal with reality on reality's terms. Your accolades are your accolades, and they've always been your accolades. There's no way Kobe Bryant should only have 1 MVP.
There you go. I appreciate that too. I appreciate that. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question before you leave that. Hold up, before you leave that point, because you're cooking now. Is it, since you're pointing that out, is it fair for a fan to say, I don't want to use these things as trump cards, albeit the accolades, because you know that there are certain biases that reveal themselves with people who make those decisions? Is that fair to say from a fan's perspective?
No, it's not. Because every single player has had to deal with some type of bias. LeBron should have more than 4 MVPs. There's plenty of other players that should have more MVPs. Steph should have more than 3 MVPs.
Hey, King. You see this, bro?
Yeah.
¿Van de regreso? ¿Yo arranco de aquí va? Sí. ¿Van de regreso? ¿Van de regreso, sí? ¿Para aterrizar al aeropuerto aquí?
This is fucking nuts, bro. What is going on with these planes?
Bro, I'm not getting on a plane for the rest of the year.
This is wild, bro.
I had to change the location of my bachelor party just so I didn't have to drive. So I could drive, because I'm not doing the plane thing this year.
I don't blame you, bro.
I don't blame you, bro. I'm like contemplating some of these trips this year, seeing when these planes can't stay.
But you know, people talked a lot about Spirit, but them bitches be landing every time.
Anyways, King, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. But yeah, so you can say every player should maybe have more than they should. I think Russell Westbrook has one of James Harden's MVPs, but it just is what it is. Storylines and narratives do take a play in voting. They always have, they always will. But what we can't do is
can I just interject briefly?
Just a second. I have one more point.
Okay.
We can't just disrespect the game because our favorite player doesn't have the accolades that we wish that they had. Like,
but our favorite player wins.
Hold a second, King. Ben Wallace is not one of my favorite players, even though I appreciate Ben Wallace. He's not one of my favorite players. I just used a totally different team, right, that you were able to see with your two eyes. I just used, a guy with even a better reputation of defense than Andre because he got 4 defensive players of the year, right? So I'm just thinking it's strange if this is the qualifier and by where we make a specific decision, why does it change? And not even about why does it change because things change, right? But why does one player get ostracized as opposed to a Bird who doesn't have 3 finals MVPs or Kareem who doesn't have 6 finals MVPs, right? Why don't those players get ostracized for, him having magic and couldn't have gotten out the second round, right? But Steph Curry, you went with 3 different iterations before and after Kevin Durant, but we still going to use it as a trump card to remind everybody, even though Brooklyn's getting swept, Phoenix is getting swept, and Kevin Durant is on national TV punching an opponent.
So people act like it's just finals MVPs that are working against Steph Curry. There are a lot of things working against Steph Curry when you're talking about a GOAT debate. He does not have the numbers. Like I posted in here.
But see, that there you go again. There you go again, King.
He doesn't.
Magic don't have the numbers, King. Magic
But
don't have the numbers.
He has the accolades.
Hold a second, King. Hold a second. Let me just, I'm a bit older than you are. So let me just educate you. The legends of those days, on an average, if you go run a study right now, right? Because I like study, I like research, and I like facts. If you go run a study right now, the average legend of those times only played 13 to 15 years. The Birds, right? You look at how long Reggie Miller played. You look at how long Michael played for the Bulls, things of that nature. Those guys usually only played 13 to 15 years. So the notion of one particular individual has accolades, I would think that's a reach. And why I say it's a reach, because on a consensus level, if you ask anybody, they probably got Magic top 5. And whether it's because of an illness or not, he still didn't have no longevity, right? He doesn't lead the NBA in assists. In fact, John Stockton does. And my rebuttal to that is always, how come nobody said John Stockton is the best point guard? And it's simply because he didn't win.
It's a combination. Okay, so
go ahead. Let me know the combination of things.
Intentionally make it a point to miss the point. It's not just one thing. It's not just your stats. It's not just your rings. It's a combination of everything. And it's not like Magic is top 30 in assists. He's in the top 10. So
but how come? But if you're talking about accomplishments, how come we don't talk about Steph still like pushing the 3-point makes record while in his prime? Essentially, that's a record no one's ever going to really catch. We could talk about,
and that's the thing that King misses. Hold on. Before you get that point off, Magic is synonymous with passing, showtime, playmaking, right? And what statistic out of any stat epitomizes him as a player? It's those assists. Steph Curry, right? But nobody just says, well, Magic is just a passer. No, they said best point guard of all time, top 5. Those are the definitive arguments, right?
Right, because of his accolades.
No, but hold on, King. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. He doesn't have 35 or 40,000 points, right? Kareem finished his career with more points. Kareem finished his career with more numbers. And I can guarantee you, if we did a study today, there are several people who would probably have Magic over Kareem because he was the conductor of that show.
No, absolutely not.
No. Again, I said if we did a study, you're giving me your opinion. I'm talking about a study, okay?
When you talk to people about basketball, the overarching opinion is that the 3 best players in NBA history, in any order you want to put them in, are Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. Those are the three. So, and what do they all have in common? They all have championships. They
Let me
all have
ask you:
finals
if
MVPs.
LeBron is in
They
that
all have more than 3
conversation, if
MVPs, and they
LeBron is
all
in that
have the numbers.
conversation, if LeBron is in that conversation, why did he constantly stack the deck and constantly lose?
I don't care how he got it. He got
No,
it.
I'm just asking you as a fan. Like, I'm just
So
asking you
those are
personally.
what you're. Every time we're talking about tangible things, you revert to storylines and narratives.
Wait, me saying that you stacked the deck and you lost is a storyline, or is that not a fact? That's history.
Everybody has lost.
It's
Everybody
history,
has
though,
lost.
King. Is the sky blue?
Yeah.
Is that a narrative or is it a fact?
But hold on.
No, I'm asking you. Is it a narrative or is it a fact?
So, who knows?
King, hold on. Before you go forward,
I heard the sky's only blue because of its reflection off the water. Who knows? So it could not be. Who knows?
King, you
I'm
goated,
not a
man.
scientist.
King, you're goated. You're goated, man.
But what I'm just saying, there's no way if LeBron had 1 Finals MVP and LeBron and Steph had 4, you guys would be sitting in here telling people that it doesn't matter.
It depends on the context, King.
There's no way.
It depends on the context, King, because
just
look at
there is no
awards
way
to determine who's the best player.
40,000 points.
Because I still think Steph is the best player in the game, and he don't have the awards that Jokic has right now. Because I watch basketball.
No.
When it comes to the finals,
because he's your favorite player.
Care about that.
We have to tell the truth. He's
I
your
am
favorite
telling the
player.
truth. I am telling the
for
truth.
Your favorite team.
I am
That's
telling
the
the
truth. So you're gonna stand
telling the
beside him,
truth.
no matter what he has.
I don't care about the accolades, sir. I look at what takes place.
Right. The reason that you don't look at the accolades is because if you did, you would be able to have the conversation that you want to have.
No.
Yo, Eldad.
Can I speak
on the context, sir?
Oh, go ahead, man.
So hold on. Eldad. This is my last question, and I gotta go. If Steph had 40,000 points and LeBron was sitting at 20,
I would need to know the context. LeBron's getting to the
40,000 points. What context you need?
Because Steph was playing for a 15-year-old, he would have had 40,000 points.
I'm thinking about that context.
And I just want to I'm gonna leave it here because people like to chalk this up to longevity.
Yes, it is a lot of
2015. Hold on, 2015 was 10 years ago.
Yes.
If LeBron retired in 2015,
he
would have retired with 24,913
and just
points.
2 rings.
Hold on. You know how many points Steph has today?
Steph at that same amount of points.
You know how many
has 4
points
rings
Steph has today?
You know that in that same amount of time, Steph got 4 rings.
Hey,
LeBron only had 2. Case closed. Case closed.
No. If LeBron retired 10 years
he only
ago,
had 2 rings. Steph has 4 rings at 20,000 points.
You're
there you go.
The goalpost.
Case
We're
closed.
talking about the numbers.
Let's go to the next conversation.
Hold on, no, because you're hiding. Why are you hiding?
Yeah.
What are you hiding for?
What am I hiding
LeBron
from?
retired 10 years ago,
If
would
he
still
retired,
have more points than Steph has today.
Doesn't matter if they had the same
But
amount of
that's a
points.
argument.
Steph got 4
Steph was
rings.
injured early
LeBron
in his
got
career,
2.
If
LeBron 10 years ago, if he retired 10 years ago, he would have more points than Steph has today.
And at the same amount of points, Steph will have more rings than LeBron.
A decade ago, he had more points than Steph has today.
He got all those points, but they got the same amount of rings.
And this is the problem.
How's that the problem?
So because you're trying to tell me that
I'm trying to tell you,
points
efficiency matters, brother. Ring efficiency matters.
That doesn't matter because your favorite
like
doesn't
getting
have
points in the air because you're stat padding.
Because your
and using all these
doesn't
superstars
have it.
only got
If
4
Steph
rings.
had 40,000.
It took you 40,000 points to get 4 rings.
Eldad, isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that when Steph Curry,
you're making my argument.
Eldad, isn't it funny that Steph Curry has more points than Magic Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Steph Curry has more points than Larry Bird and is on pace to surpass Hakeem probably by next season, right? We don't care about those legends who have solidified themselves, I guess, in most people's top 10, who they don't want to move.
Bruce, that's like your boy said, man, I got all these numbers. But yeah, how many are you closing? If you closing with 5 numbers, your boy getting 20 numbers, he can't pull anything. What's the point?
And the thing is, King proves the point to where Lee, is it a national conversation all the time now that, NBA ratings are down or not?
Yes.
And we wonder why the ratings are down from, the past. And it's because of these very conversations.
Right.
Winning is glamorized as long as you have points.
Yes.
As long as you have rebounds. Winning,
Yes.
losing rather.
If I can
Losing is
clearly see the
glamorized.
player is the best player on the court, I don't care how many points he has total, especially when I know the context of these games. I literally seen games where LeBron is in these games and they're up 30, he's stat padding so he can get 30 points.
Correct.
When you think about that context, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because the rings is the truth teller. The man has 40,000 points and got the same amount of rings as Steph. And he's used more top 75 players to just get the same amount of rings as Steph.
To me, that's an indictment, L-Dot.
Yes,
I think
the resources.
Our context don't matter when it comes to
if you
Steph.
want to,
That's
let me
just
tell you
crazy.
something. One thing I will never argue. If you want to just tell me specimen for specimen who is the bigger freak and locomotive, then I'm not going to argue with you.
LeBron's the most talented player I've ever seen by far.
Steph looked like he should be in Times Square, right, running data entries. I get it. But if
Doing
you're
your taxes.
talking about accomplishments, right, with the talent around you and the odds being stacked against you, there's no way you can justify a player on pace to try and get 45,000 points, maybe 50 to the way he looked like he's going to play, right, till he's 50 years old and get 50,000 points. And that's going to be, fetishized and glamorized, right?
Yep.
How do you only have the same amount of rings as this so-called person? And the biggest thing, L-Dot, and that'll be my last thing in that regard, everybody gave Magic and Larry flowers, even still till this day. I don't see nobody, even if you're a Laker fan, you appreciate what dude brought to the table as much as you don't like, and vice versa with the Celtic fans. But it's like with LeBron fans, it's like, nah, let's tear down Steph. Finals MVP. Come on now. Like let's be just consistent and then not think it's strange
They
as to
never
why the
did
ratings
Tim
are
Duncan
down.
like this.
And the thing is, though, what's funny about the points argument,
And let me say this.
all the folks who are the greatest, right? Like, who people consider the greatest, like, who got like 30,000 points or whatever, who are in that conversation have at least 5 or 6 rings. LeBron doesn't. That, like I said,
Hey.
he got all those points en route of winning. LeBron has gotten these points en route a lot of times, especially in the Western Conference, to losing. And a lot of times not even making the finals. Getting swept in the Western Conference Finals. Steph has never been swept in the Western.
How do you get swept when you're a guy who is worthy of 40,000 points, L-Dot?
And you got 80 on your team.
So
Giving
the guy
you 30 and
so
20.
so you're telling me the guy who would finish his career as the all-time leading scorer would, in one particular finals, if not another, choke? And one against the Dallas Mavericks, get outplayed by Jason Terry?
Yep.
Come on, man.
And JJ Barrera.
Hey, let me say this, right? Let me say this. What's the head-to-head matchup with Curry and Bron?
I know
Stat news will tell you.
Look,
You know,
this is
because
what happens. Braun fans is gonna say, "Oh, what's the head-to-head matchup without KD being on the team?" That's what Braun fans is gonna do.
Oh no. We're not gonna conflate and remove KD. Kyrie and Kevin Love was a very
Magic and
strong
those guys.
team.
Magic
As a
don't
matter
Kareem
of
don't have to do that for his stats.
As a matter of fact, KD made it equal. You know what I'm saying? Because Bron had a stacked deck. Kyrie and K Love was a stacked deck. We're not gonna do that.
That's
We're not gonna pretend that these guys wasn't running through the East. And
Right.
just because you hook you buck up on a light skinned guy that does data entry it's a problem that he get KD. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that.
The data entry is hilarious.
These people love to twist the narrative, bro.
Oh, y'all hilarious.
Hey, bro. Yeah, he said he had 20,000 points in 2015. Yeah, that's cool. Brown also been getting his NBA stats recorded from high school. As far as I care, he's been in the league so long. Time and attrition. That's literally one of the most valuable skills. He's had time to do it. If these other guys had the same time to do it and their body held up, I mean, it would be the same thing. But
That's
the
a
winning aspect of it.
That's a fact. That's huge facts.
Dog, you see how King was up here going on his rant, bro, and he's talking about these points and all that. He never mentions that Steph was hurt early in his career. That was never says anything about it whatsoever.
Nope. The thing is, the points, I'm not saying that they don't matter. They do. It's an accomplishment. But we got to act like that's the end-all, be-all to legacy. If you're getting all these points and these stats, you got to have the winning that comes with it. Otherwise, you just a
And
dude,
Eldad, that's
just a dude going
yeah,
to the
Eldad.
park, getting these numbers and not closing. That's just what it means to me.
Eldad, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes, your stats are cool and all. It's cool story, bro. But you did not win. You had all of these points to lose, bro. That's like okay, with money, right? These if you just become a millionaire and these oil companies that's been in the generation had the oil for generations, who's gonna have more money? Because they had the time to build the wealth, right? So he's just a time he's just a time wealth builder, bro. He's been in the league from like he was like 12, bro.
Exactly.
What are we talking about? Okay, you want a cookie because you've been in the league till 12 and you had to cry in the parking lot for D Wade to get you your first ring?
Yep.
These are the narratives they push, by the way. So I'm pushing the same thing.
But
these are the narratives they push.
But the funny thing is, he actually did cry to D Wade. He was the one who made the call, and they made the call because
he made the call.
The narratives, the lies they told about Steph, oh yeah, they got KD to stop Bron. That was actually about them trying to stop Kobe, because Steph never said that. But D Wade in the interview, we needed to get together so we could stop Kobe. Could you imagine if Steph said that?
Cooking right now. You cooking right now. Hold on. You cooking.
It was necessary at that time.
They were trying to tell their truths vicariously through Steph.
Lee, let me play this.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it was necessary at that time? Y'all had to put a powerhouse together to be competitive at that time. Like one superstar on the team wasn't cutting it.
No.
What was your perspective on that?
No, that wasn't even the mentality. I think, did we understand when Pau Gasol? I'm sorry, Pau, because black people say Paul.
Paul, yeah. I say Paul too. Paul
yeah, black people say Paul. It's Pau.
Yeah.
When Pau Gasol went to the Lakers, changed everything, because first of all, they was cheating. Memphis just gave him away.
Yeah.
You just gonna give him to Kobe?
Yeah.
Like they just gave him to Kobe. Now Marc Gasol ended up becoming a good player, but Marc Gasol was in that trade, right?
Mark wasn't no goddamn Powell at that time.
But Mark was no Powell at that time.
At that time.
So y'all done just gave him Powell. And so Kobe go get 2 championships back to back. How we gonna compete with that? So we gotta do our thing. And whatever our thing is what it became to be. I remember Kobe, I said it before, I remember Kobe went down and grabbed that. It's a video with Kobe when they win the second, when the ball goes all the way down, pretty much coming to the camera. And Kobe run down, he grabbed it, he got his one hand in the air, he's smiling in the camera. I turned that fucking TV off right there. I was pissed. Because now Kobe has 5 championships. I got 1. Bron ain't got none. He is leaving us in the pack, and we competitive. Right. So I'm sitting there like, no, this summer got to be different. I needed some talent because I was just playing with less than average talent. And so the conversation happened, it changed everything when I got the call from Bron.
Kobe had 5, and he was leaving us behind in the pack. You hear what this man's mentality was?
Yep.
You hear that? He was leaving us behind in the pack. So the measurement for him is rings. The measurement for him is championships.
That's a fact, Eric.
Right? So if the measurement for him is championships, and y'all are here talking about stats, bro, everybody's putting up stats in this era. It's diluted. Nobody cares about that. But you know what's not diluted? Championship.
Rings.
Come on, bro. This man said all Bron. You know what I'm saying?
You want to lie about now, Eric?
All Bron from, bro? Was it here? Which parking lot was it? Which parking lot was it? I'm curious. I'm curious which parking lot it was from. Which bro, but if you know this arena, right? Like it's not like they have like a garage like right there, bro. Like you gotta like cross some bridge and all of that. So imagine crossing a bridge and he's crying, dog. Like he's crying. He got D Wade on speed dial. You know what I'm saying? And was it here or was it here? Which garage was it?
People
Oh
could
my
say
God.
people could say what they want about Steph, man. Dude has won with 3 different iterations, dog. Only had a superstar for 3 years. Everybody else were elite role players.
Look what
Now,
Shaq
let
said.
me tell you what Shaq is saying.
King's
And Shaq
favorite
is an
player of all
all-timer,
time.
right?
King's
Here's what
favorite.
Shaq is saying.
I'm wondering, not saying, I'm just wondering because he's been consistently the best shooter his whole career. I'm wondering, is it time to start putting him as the best player of all time?
Best player.
Conversation.
Over you put him over you.
In the conversation.
I'm asking you.
Yes.
You put him over you.
Oh,
You yourself
Way
put
better-
Steph Curry
yes,
over
of
you.
course. Yeah, this is why he's my favorite player. Cause
I'm not saying favorite.
I
He
played-
might be my favorite too, but I'm just asking you think he's better than you.
I played 20 years, watched 20 years before that. I've never seen a guy like him. And he's doing it consistently, and he has championships.
You put him
Maybe
over
it's time-
Michael.
No, I'm not putting him anywhere. I'm saying,
Okay.
For all the chitter chatter, is it time to just put him in the
I
conversation?
think
I'm just asking.
he's a
I'm asking the fans, is it time to start putting him in the conversation as
Well, I'm a
one of the
fan.
best players ever? I'm wondering, not saying, I'm just wondering because he's been consistently the best shooter his whole career. I'm wondering.
He's starting a conversation. This was a couple years ago, by the way.
Yeah. This is, I
Yeah.
think, before the fourth ring.
Yeah, Shaq always shows
I
love to
remember
Steph.
this. I
Yeah, he
remember
always
this.
shows love to Steph.
Yeah, so this has always been my point. So
Oh,
when you
was
in
that
score,
Okay.
bro, okay, all right. So let me ask the stage, let me ask the chat to something, right? Because the way that I grew up watching basketball, and maybe this is a generational thing, right? Where the measurement for me growing up was always championships, right? Like that's how it was in the 80s, that's how it was in the 90s. The O's, the 10, well, not the 10s. The 10s Bron was losing and we tried to shift shit up, right? But now I'm asking, right? At what point do we start to go back to using the rings as measurement? Because I don't think we use that as a measurement anymore, do we?
I think depending on who you ask, a lot of people do, but you have a lot of new energy and new individuals within the
Hey,
sport trying to change that argument.
Eldad, I'm gonna put a clip in here. This is when the Warriors won the fourth with Steph, and this is a brief snippet of what Shaq said on his podcast. I'm gonna find the full clip, but play this short clip though. Eric. This is in regards to best players and so on.
But the
So,
fact
we're gonna
that Shaq put Steph over him, that says a lot. It's to me that says a lot.
play this clip, Eric.
I view things as we gotta always view it as championships, bro. The minute this motherfucker was losing championships, then all of a sudden you heard this phrase, ring culture. What the fuck is ring culture?
A lot of people go by stats and how you look. Me and the Ken Dogston, we go by championships because we know what it takes to get there, especially in a back-to-back situation. Houston Rockets wasn't supposed to win it. They had the best player in the world. Nobody knew he was the best player in the world because they gave the MVP trophy to David Robinson. But listen, you could, like I say, categorically, you can have whatever you want, but we, the real ballers like Ken and myself, we judge people by, their championships.
So this is why I'm having this conversation right now because I have a pretty good feeling about what's going to happen, right? So I'm not trying to give y'all any room to breathe, bro. No room whatsoever. Matter of fact, if I catch y'all, I'm ducking y'all heads under the water until you say he's better than LeBron. You understand what I'm saying? If I hold you, I'm dunking you under the water until I pull you back up and you say Steph is the GOAT. If you say Bron is the GOAT, I'm ducking you under the fucking water again. You understand? I'm drowning you. If you don't say.
Waterboarding.
I'm going to waterboard you. I'm going to waterboard you. I'm going to waterboard you.
Figuratively.
Yeah, figuratively. But Shaq made a good point though, because I remember that shit. David Robinson got the MVP, and Akeem just took him to fucking school, demolished him. In the playoffs, bro, I don't give a fuck about MVPs that much. It don't mean shit to me.
And the thing is, if there was a real argument for LeBron, and he's to be the GOAT, there'll be a lot more things to refute besides saying, You mad, bro?
Top 5 at his position ever. That's a backhanded compliment. Believe it or not.
It
I
is.
talk to the man. It's on backhanded. Greatest ever at his position. Top 5 ever. It's backhanded.
Obviously, he put on a show Friday, dropping 43 and 10, evening the series. Do you think a 4th title puts him in your company? I'm talking top 10 all time.
He's already in my company. Me and Steven had this conversation before. With so many great guys before us and even guys coming after us, some guys have their own special category that you can't mess with. For example, when it comes to the most dominant, Wilt, myself, the GOAT, we always got Kobe, LeBron, and Mike. When it comes to the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry is in there by itself. So does that make him top 10? In my opinion, it does. I love the way he plays the game. He plays with great energy, great passion. And you knew that as great as a player he is, that he was going to have a game like that. He needed to have a game like that for them to win. And that's what great players do.
Obviously, he put on a show Friday, dropping 43 and 10, evening the series. Do you think a 4th title puts him in your company? I'm talking top 10 all time.
He's already in my company. Me and Steven had this conversation before.
You know why I like Shaq? Because Shaq looks at this in terms of championships. I can fuck with somebody. Because you see when people start to tell you like the nonsense about, oh, this guy, he won this and this guy won that and blah, like fuck that, bro. Like it's about winning, bro. It's really about winning. Like, why do you think LeBron did that? LeBron did that, made that move that he made because of the fact that he wasn't winning. And then people's arguments started to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because he was losing and they're like, points, rebounds, assists. I was like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Everybody in this era is putting up points, rebounds, assists. What's so special about points, rebounds, assists?
And then on top of that, a lot of times they're stat padding and garbage time.
What's so special about points, rebounds, assists? So I am trying to set this up. So when it becomes time for me to collect, I'm collecting because y'all can't have the argument one way where you're trying to switch it up. I'm not gonna let y'all breathe, bro. No.
Princess.
Yeah, she's barking now for some odd reason. I don't know why. No, what she's looking at. Yeah, bro. What the hell? That's why I liked her so much. She don't bark. Yeah, bro. But
did it come in? Did you get it in the mail?
You know what? I even checked. Did it say it arrived?
I think so.
Okay. It's probably in the mailbox then.
Cool.
How'd you send it?
USPS.
Okay, yes. It's probably in the mailbox. Clutches at the door. Yeah, bro. But it's like
I dropped the full 40-second clip, so this gives you a little bit more context. Or this is probably a little bit better if you don't mind playing that one real quick for the
absolutely.
nerds.
Hold on.
Yeah, for all the nerds.
Yeah, but understand something too, right? I think there's conflation going on with the older guys and the younger guys, right?
Oh, big time.
First of all,
big time.
There's some like these younger dudes, and I watch it. All right, let me give you a perfect example. Anthony Edwards said the other day that only MJ played with skill back in the day.
Yeah, he's naive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, Bruce. If these dudes are on TV and they hear that shit, right?
Yeah, they feel some type of way, dude.
Right? So now they're on TV and they're like, you said what now?
All this conversation is the same thing where people are arguing like, you're telling me Trey Songz is better than Marvin Gaye, You feel me? Like, how dare you say that about New Edition? It's the same thing, essentially. It's just different characters. And then
Bruce.
if you do say you say that you disrespecting them boys, they gonna feel some type of way, Eric.
No, it's not even feel some type of way, but I know how I am. If I hear some flagrant shit, right?
You gonna get more flagrant.
It's not even like I'm gonna get more flagrant. I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah? Well, let me see now. Let me take a closer look at you now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me take a real-
Granular.
Let me see what you're really made of, you know?
Right.
So let me watch you in the playoffs. Let me see you handle this double team. You know what I'm saying? Let me see you pass the ball and you try to dribble through 5 people. Right? So then people say this stupid shit. And then guess what happens? Then the damn old heads are like, yeah, nobody in the 90s played with skill, huh? And that is the cycle of NBA bullshit that goes on. Because
I love this clip right here too, Irk, because it's like kind of like epitomizes essentially what you're saying. Nichelle, the way she asks the question, right, is like, I guess this modest, uncanny, unbiased person, but the facial expression shows that implicit bias. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the very conversations we're having. So I had to find this full clip because it ties into what you're saying right now.
But do you agree he's the best player in the world? Do you agree?
That makes you the best player. I agree right there. Last year he was the best player in the world. Last year, I agree.
Yes,
with that.
Listen. A lot of people go by stats and how you look. Me and the Ken Dockster, we go by championships because we know what it takes to get there, especially in a back-to-back situation. Houston Rockets wasn't supposed to win it. They had the best player in the world. Nobody knew he was the best player in the world because they gave the MVP trophy to David Robinson. But listen, you could, like I say, categorically, you can have whatever you want, but we, the real ballers like Ken and myself, we judge people by, their championships.
But do you agree?
You got to judge by championships, bro.
This is why I don't care what trolls tell me, because as Shaq say, G5 classification. You know what I mean? And I feel like if he had any regret, the breakup with him and Kobe, he probably wish you would have given more flowers because, bruh, if there wasn't a weapon formed against Kobe and people would still be naive, bruh, just look at how they discuss him right now, dog. When he retired, even if you felt who was better, it wasn't as flagrant, dog. And he can't even defend himself. So now Shaquille got to go on podcasts and give flowers to dudes who kind of, were 1A, 1B, right? But, for some reason, because you average 4 more points, they getting, talked about like they were some scrubs. Come on, man.
Yeah. I don't know how we can sit here and talk about this guy, talk about that guy, and then, bro, when championships, and this is why I can't stand LeBron or LeBron fans, because the minute he started to lose and stack the deck and all of that, you started to hear about stats and championships and all of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something, bro. Like Luka, it's a team sport. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. A team sport? No. The best player drives winning. Always, always, always. You know what I'm saying? You got to put a team around that guy. But guess what? Like, they drive winning. That's how it's supposed to be. That's why they get paid 40% of the fucking cap, because they drive winning. Don't get that twisted. They make all the money because they drive winning.
The thing is, if they were correct about a lot of this stuff, Steph would have never won in 22. He should have never won if they were right.
Okay. We had a CEO die the other day, right? And you know the first thing I heard people say? The first thing I heard people say, and this is going to sound cold and calculated and callous, they were asking about the stock price. What's the stock price? Did the stock price fall? Did it increase? Did it XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Why are they asking about the stock price of CEO when he died? Why should the stock price matter? Do you know why? Because CEOs drive the stock price, believe it or not. They drive the stock price. Is the CEO in there, working on reports, meeting with this person, selling, doing this, doing that. No, they're not. But for some reason, they drive the stock price. That's why some of these guys make the salaries that they're making, because they do drive the stock price, because they're out there, they're doing investor relations, they're doing this, they're doing that, right? But they drive the stock price. How much money do you think a company makes based on, public investment? They make a lot of fucking money, right? So guess what? CEO compensation oftentimes is tied to, the stock price. That's why they get options and all of this shit, right? So when you talk about basketball and all of that, the best players make the most money because they drive winning. It's even more directly correlated than a CEO and CEO compensation. You understand what I'm saying? Think about that. Think about that. So don't give me that nonsense. Right? So why do you think Bron is so, why do you think he meddles with the front office so much, and he meddles with roster moves and this, that, and the other? Let me say this. Bron, everything that's done in regards to winning, Steph does it more efficiently, right? Steph wins more with less.
That's a fact. That's an actual fact.
He wins more with less, right? Just based on that fact, we should have him over LeBron. He just does everything more efficiently.
Yep. Less top 75 players of all time. He's won more. He's won more rings.
And Irk,
one more
I'm
rings for less points.
Irk and L, and everybody else listening, I'm gonna say this. I'm telling you from now, even if a LeBron fan wants to say, if and when the Warriors win the title is because of Jimmy Butler, there's insurmountable amounts of data out there to prove, as good as Jimmy is, he could not get over that hump. And I get it. He needed complementary players, but we know what Steph Curry has done, because this is the fourth iteration of the Warriors, albeit, right? And I'm just telling you now, I feel sorry, because I think this is what the NBA need. You've given Nikola all these MVPs. It hasn't helped your ratings. Yeah, Giannis has won. They got Dame. Nobody is staying up to watch Milwaukee. OKC, I like OKC as far as SGA. I think the young Canadian doing his thing, and he's probably going to win MVP, even though Jokic is putting up, NBA Jam numbers. But, bruh, we know when the NBA is in a good place, we know it's when blue and gold these days are parading around Market Street. You feel me, L. Dot? So like, I'm just saying, if and when the Warriors pull it off, people could tell me about Finals MVPs. They could tell me anything they want to tell me, dog. Like, it don't get no better than that, bro. Like, that's a fact. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting on it, dog. I'm waiting on it, and it's trending up. It's trending that direction.
When I look at bro, this is what people just gloss over. And don't they just gloss over it all the time though? How many times are you just watching just gloss over it?
All the time. That's why I don't care about stats to the degree that people do.
I'm not saying that the stats don't matter, right? But it's
depending on the context. Depends on
no. Stats matter.
But the context too matters, because it's like, if
There
dudes,
you go.
if dudes are padding stats in like garbage time, and then in the end it's like, oh, they got 30, but like 20 of those minutes they got it when they had the bench players on the court and they were just running up the score and they're down. I mean,
L, if you listen to some of the legends, or if you listen to Draymond on his pod and different things like that, these players know. Even the sometime all-star or elite role players of old, these players know, L. Dot. There are only a few teams that are always going to contend, right? There's some that might pretend to contend to bring revenue in, sell tickets, and then there are others that are trying, and then maybe there was God forbid, an injury or something like that changed the turn, the tide, right? But most of the time, the players know, like, who's contending, and I'm just telling you, man, I see a lot of people like saying, "Oh yeah, I don't think Jimmy." Like I seen Rudy Gay. Did you see the clip of Rudy Gay on Carmelo's show saying he don't think playoff Jimmy's going to happen in Golden State?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was a good little clip. I'm gonna find it. Carmelo thinks this is the perfect situation for Jimmy because Jimmy is essentially he's an elite game manager, he's an elite role player, right? In Miami, he was just Superman. But if he don't gotta be Superman every night, it should help him. Rudy Gay believes because he won't need to do that, you probably won't see that performance replicated. I actually defer, I actually defer to Carmelo, not this dude. I believe he's got enough in the tank, and this is gonna be the best version you've seen of him, bro. Like, hold on, let me find the clip real quick with Carmelo.
Hey, L.
Yes, sir.
When y'all saying that points and stats,
All right,
it's
somebody
kind of
put it in
conflated,
there.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can you imagine being blown out by 30 in the third quarter, and then you trying to get to your 10 points?
No.
Yeah, Playoff Shape posted it in there, and Zay Hoops Reports just posted it again with Jimmy, with Carmelo saying that they scary, even though Rudy Gay don't see it. Hey, Rudy Gay, you never won that no level nigga since high school, I think.
Somebody throw it up on their
Damn, I
computer
ain't
from
even
there.
on my laptop. Lee, you on your laptop?
Now I'm on my phone too.
Damn, who?
Give me like
I'm on
10
my phone.
minutes.
I'm on
All
my
right, no
phone
pressure.
too, as well.
They need to update that where you could use your phone and do that, bro.
That might be a bad idea, bro.
That might be a bad idea.
Oh
Jermaine,
shit.
Jermaine, like, yeah, Jermaine came out the woodwork for that one. He know it.
Yeah, that is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Nah, Bruce.
I don't think I thought that one through.
I would not want to see Samuel's phone. You know what I'm
Right.
Degeneracy, bro.
saying? Yeah, but I did play that clip yesterday, and I do agree with it because Jimmy Butler. Okay, because this is going to tie into this whole thing, right? There are people when they play against another star, it's almost like they slot down. You know what I'm saying? They take a lesser role, but in that role, they're optimized more. Let me give you an example. Andrew Wiggins, right? I don't think Andrew Wiggins was a great first option. I don't think he was a great second option, right? But he was a better second option than he was a first option, right? He was even a greater third option than he was a second and a first option, right? Because there are skill sets that get accentuated when you go down a role, basically, right? So you see when he was in that third option role, now he can guard. Now he can score the ball a little bit. Now your high end responsibilities are less. So then your dirty work responsibilities are more, right? So then you start to find like the most optimal version of that player in a team concept, right? So that's essentially what happened with Andrew. You know, Andrew, I don't think Andrew worked well as like the second option, right? Because the second option, I think you need more than scoring. I think you need shot creation as well, right? So I think the ideal role for him, like if he were still on our team and now he's the third option and there's not a lot of primary creation that has to be done, that's the fucking perfect role for him, right? Guard, go get buckets, right? This team actually needed, you know, high end high end shot creation. And shot creation on this team is even more important. Why? Because Steph Curry plays off ball, right? And that's always been the case. Kevin Durant came here and, you know, Steph Curry, I think there was a lot less pressure on him. I don't necessarily think he's slotted down because the thing that he does, he's always been doing. He just started do it more to accommodate KD, right? So and you saw how opposing defenses game plan for him. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like the more guys you add, depending on how many guys you add and the skill sets that you add, that's pretty much what it is. So that's kind of what happened with Butler. I don't think Butler was good enough to get over the top, right? Like if he was, he probably would have won, right? Um, but I think as that guy in that secondary role, then that's a different story. I think he's the perfect second guy, especially for somebody like Steph. I'll say y'all.
Yeah, agree for sure. The thing is, like Jimmy, folks are concerned about Jimmy scoring like he does in the playoffs, or even getting 20 points per game now. But people are forgetting when Kuminga comes back, that's going to alleviate a lot of the Jimmy offensive stuff, I believe. Do we have any news when JK is coming back?
He might come back tonight.
Because it's been eerily quiet, so I'm expecting him to be back.
I read some yesterday saying probably at the earliest Monday.
Oh. He was supposed to be back.
Hey, Lee.
Against Charlotte.
Okay. Yes, sir. What's going on, Matt?
From what I'm reading, he's ready to come back, but it's a game time decision depending on the coaching staff and the medical staff.
Okay.
He did all the necessary scrimmages. He did all of the training and all of that stuff.
That's why I thought it was going to be
they're
tonight, bro. Like, anyways, I guess the
they're
2 days is going to
really
make a difference.
yeah, they're really just putting their foot. They're just taking their foot off the brakes because these teams is not threatening. Look at Philadelphia and the Hornets, bro. They're not. You know what I'm saying?
You can't take nobody lightly, man.
But that's why he should come
Not
back.
us.
Yeah.
That too, Jermaine. But I think that's why he should come back against these type of teams versus getting
right.
the throws of like the elite teams of the league. But I feel like ever since that KD thing, they're just super cautious with injuries.
It was a pretty bad injury, man. I ain't
Yeah.
even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, he had a high ankle sprain.
You know, like some sprains, you would have just rather it broke or something, man. Because I've had one of those sprains, and bro, it took like a good 6 months for me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not like it was hurting bad, but you couldn't put any pressure on it, really. You know what I'm saying? Because I hoop sometimes, and it took a minute, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What's the downside y'all see to this team?
The Warriors?
Yeah.
Not getting enough scoring.
Steve Kerr.
You still think we have a scoring problem?
Like there are times where Moody it could be hot, and then there are times where he just completely goes cold. I feel like Moody is like the better version of Damian Lee in a way, but does more stuff and doesn't do a lot of dumb stuff. But the feast or famine kind of thing you get with him offensively is essentially the same at times. Defensively, I think that could be an issue, especially on the perimeter. Those would be my two biggest concerns.
So, like back in the 90s when they were struggling to create offense, right? And people would be like, just throw it on the block, just throw it on the block, just throw it on the block, right?
Mm-hmm.
Throwing it on the block is probably the most inefficient thing that you can do in this era, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is our go-to offense when shit's not working now that we got Jimmy?
Throw it to Jimmy in the block. Or a Steph Curry 3. I think now compared to like when we had KD, it's the safest, or a lack of a better word, in terms of like contingency plan, and Steph is not making shots. But I just don't know how viable or reliable that is in the playoffs just yet because Jimmy's older. So I'm hoping JK mitigates a lot of that. But yeah, that would be my only like not issue, but just slight concern. I think we're going to be fine because I had those same concerns in 2022. Besides the perimeter defensive part, because there were games where we would go like for droughts where we didn't score, like against Memphis at the early part of the season in 2022, where we were destroying Memphis up 30 only to lose the game because we couldn't score in the fourth quarter. It really didn't hurt us in the end. So I kind of feel similar to that in regards to how the team is now.
Yo, what's up, guys?
CJ,
what up? How's it going?
Not bad, man.
Man, that Orlando game. Tell me why I had floor seats. Like, not quite courtside, but like, like a couple rows behind it, but like you're on the floor.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the day after was my girl's birthday, and then it's like then I found out Kaminga wasn't gonna play, and I already had to do like when it's like your girl's birthday week, it's really like her birthday month. Like it's not really like just her birthday. Like I don't know. Maybe it's just my girl, but the way it works is like if I want to do stuff on right before her birthday, I gotta like move mountains. So I didn't go. I sold my ticket. And this nigga wants to go off for 56, man.
I know you were sick, bro.
I
I
was
know
sick.
you were sick.
I was sick. Like I was gonna go with my best friend. We had tickets, and I sold the ticket to his cousin. Basically, he just got it for a little bit more than I paid for it. Because
How
if he
long
would
ago
have
did
bought
you
a
buy the
ticket,
ticket?
it was like $1,500.
How long ago did you buy it?
Like last week.
Okay. I wonder what that ticket was going for, like right before the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I never buy tickets right before the game. I heard you could catch deals though, right?
You can, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
But
saying.
but the thing is, like Orlando Magic games, when the Warriors are in town and Steph's playing,
The
it's
Steph
like
Curry
literally
pass
a
is
home
real,
game.
isn't it?
It's literally a home game. Like I don't know if you guys ever been to a Magic game where Steph's in town, but it's like literally Warriors jerseys everywhere. Like I would hate to play for
Brother,
the
it's like
Magic.
Charlotte, dog. Like they love Steph down there like they do in Charlotte, man.
Yeah, there were
Yeah, like I
clips.
would hate to play for that team.
Yeah, there was clips, CJ, like the other day. Sorry to cut you off, but there
No,
was
you're
clips.
good.
There was clips the other day where somebody was literally sitting, I think, in your seats, and I heard the crowd, and I was like, "Yo, this feels. It sounds like Chase even Orr called it. It's this on the road. That's crazy."
Yeah, he was getting an MVP chance and shit. Like my friend FaceTimed me, and then they're like chanting defense, right? And then Steph hits a three in somebody's face, like a step back three or some shit, and everybody just loses their mind. Like they forget they're cheering for the Magic. But I'm used to that because I've gone to like Magic games when he's there, and I should have knew better, bro. Like he always lights up the Magic, like always. Like that's like his. He has a home in Orlando, and it's called Kia Center, or it's called Kia Center. Kia is Miami, but I'm going to the Miami one though. But yeah, I wanted to hop in. I haven't been here in a while, man. My sleep schedule's been so fucked up. But yeah, you guys were talking about like bringing JK back. So what I've heard is that he's ruled out for tonight's game, but they're awaiting like final approval, and that he could come back as early as Monday.
Don't you think that tonight would have been a better night?
Yeah, I do. I do.
We need to get him going.
Yeah. Last thing I want, bro, is the same shit as last year, where he got an injury towards the end of the year, and then he never quite got his way back into like his original like rotation and minutes and whatnot. Remember, he was starting and he was going crazy. Then he had the knee or some shit like that, the leg, and then he comes back, but he's coming off the bench because that was like Kerr's chance to start Clay and get Draymond off of the five, and and then we get to the playing game, and he's one of our best players, but because he's coming off the bench, he doesn't get that many minutes. And he doesn't get to impact the game. It's like I really hope we don't run into one of those situations where we run into like grown men and Pods and Moody or either or, you know, they just don't look the part. Because like in that first half of the Orlando game, that's kind of what it looked like to me. I don't know about y'all. Like I felt like Paolo, especially, but even Franz, like when they were being guarded by Pods and Moody, no offense to them, it's really just their size. It was like they weren't even there. Even when Jimmy was guarding them, those guys were just getting whatever they wanted. Really, the difference was when they brought in Post and then Draymond was able to play the four so he could guard Paolo. Because I think the only guys on the team who could guard Paolo is Draymond and JK. So what
No,
are we gonna do?
I definitely see where you're coming from on the Draymond Post dynamic, because with Post on the roster, it allows Draymond to slide over to his natural position, which is power forward. But we know how that is in the playoffs. We're gonna switch him over to center, and he's gonna be doing the do.
But that's the thing. Is that really his natural position? Because if you think about what he gives you and what he doesn't give you, he's really a five, but he's just small.
No, but he can interchange as long as you got a five that. The reason why he can't play four anymore is because he doesn't stretch the floor as he used to. Now the guys who are playing the four are a lot of times it's like two guards who are undersized or small forwards who are undersized. It's really tweeners. So
I think
if you don't got a five man who can either be interchangeable in that regard, Draymond has to play the five, but
yeah.
it's taking a toll on him, man. Like we see Jimmy Butler got a spasm, and Jimmy Butler's not even playing center. So I think Draymond took a charge. Was it against Wendell Carter? He took a mean charge that was
I
like,
think
damn,
I
I
think
felt it.
Jimmy got hurt by Wendell, or he like aggravated the back a little bit. I think he was already dealing with his back,
But
but then
Draymond
like
took a
he
charge
got
from
waxed.
somebody. Draymond took a charge from somebody, and I'm like, damn, I felt that. So it's only so much blows you can withstand
Yeah,
without
that's
your body
facts.
breaking down. I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
why he
facts.
doesn't want to play the five.
I think the reason why he's best at the five is because most of your weapons play one through four, you know? And he's not really a weapon, he's more of like a weapons dealer, if that makes
Yeah,
sense. Like he's
no, it
the
makes
one who
sense.
deals like
I
passes
like that
to the
weapons dealer.
weapons. Yeah,
It
so
makes
the
sense.
fact that Post is like a weapon in the sense that he's like a shooter, he really plays around the perimeter, like he moves around. That's probably the only guy that you could put him next to where he could play the four and it doesn't kind of like kill everybody else.
You know what my theory is, CJ, with Jonathan Kaminga, the more and more that I'm watching and hearing these reports? The report was that he should have returned, I think, versus Charlotte. I'm thinking like they're doing a weird thing where, hey, if we don't lose, we're not going to bring him back type of
Yeah,
vibe.
I was
That's
thinking
the
that too.
that's the kind of
If they
vibe I'm
don't
getting.
lose, they're just gonna leave him out.
Yeah, like I
But
get
it's
it,
like,
man.
yo, we got such an easy schedule. We might not lose, bro. Like, it's not
Yeah,
fair.
they need to expedite incorporating him into the fold, man.
But I also understand, like, could you imagine how toxic the fan base would be if, like, the game he came back, like, we lost? Even if he only played, like, 15 minutes, but, like, imagine we lost. Like, oh my God. Shit would get so toxic. And then it would kind of, like, paint this picture on him.
They've been paying pictures on him since the moment he started, man. Even when he ain't got nothing
Yeah.
to do with it.
Yeah, bro. I really, like, when it comes to JK, I almost wonder if it has to do with his, being African and shit. I hate to make that, like, cop out, but sometimes I just don't understand it. But I think that we're gonna need him when we get to these teams in the playoffs. The big boys show up, and you're gonna need to match up with those best players. Like, do you think we could beat? You remember a bunch of the games where like the two Cleveland games. There was that one Mavericks game where they beat us at home. The Memphis game, like all these games where like before we even got into our bench rotations, like the game was already over. Like they were already up by like 20 plus.
Uh-huh.
I'm a little worried about that. Like maybe I'm overdoing the size thing because it's not like I don't think that Pods and Moody are good players, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be them. I just wonder, can we like compete with the big boys, the grown men like Ricky G says, right? Like the real dudes when
What's up?
I,
we get to the playoffs, you know?
Chilling.
I think they can compete.
Nah, take
I'm
it
not
easy, man.
I'm not going to go. I don't really look at what people put in the TL because I feel like sometimes people be trying to be so objective to the point where they got to point out flaws. Sometimes flaws
Yeah.
that are overly glamorized. And yeah, I think the Warriors have some issues. But think about it with Jordan Poole. Before Jordan Poole got into his first playoff, right, CJ? He was reckless at times offensively, and there were times where he would make some defensive lapses, right? But he was sound when the playoffs came. He was pretty sound, you know. So who knows if the production we're seeing from Moody and from Pods now, if that doesn't, multiply. You get what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
while where we saw their limitations or whatever, whether it's Pods and his size or Moody and his lack of passing to what Steve might like. Come on, man, these dudes are coming into their own. So the only thing we could do is just be a little bit optimistic. But I think that's why Kaminga coming back is important because he brings an element that they could have used in the Dallas Mavericks game. That rim pressure, the floor being spaced. I think posts, because big men are slower to develop if they're not studs coming into the league. I think him being incorporated is beautiful. Like I think Kaminga's just walking into a situation to where he don't got to do too much. He don't got to think. He can just put his head down and make the right read and then slide his feet on defense. Versus where we were hoping he scored 25 every night to help Steph.
I actually think he's gonna have an easier time scoring now with Jimmy there. Like I don't think like you know how like people talk about the second option thing and like, oh, this guy's gonna come in and score this and that. I think that Jimmy's the type of guy who's gonna like help JK be like JK with that, but without the diminishing returns of like high usage and shit, you know?
No, I agree.
My bad. I think you're about to say something though, and I cut you
No, no,
off.
no. The more that I think about the Jimmy Butler shit, right? So this is a picture from 2019, right? You know that they were a shot away. That they were a shot away
From the conference
from the
finals.
conference finals that year.
Yep.
They're a shot away from the conference finals. So a shot away from the conference finals. The next year he makes the NBA finals, albeit in a bubble. And then 22 conference finals, one shot away from the finals. And then in 23, they make the NBA finals, right? The playoff thing is, bro, all we got to do is just keep these guys healthy, bro. And we will be in the finals, I'm telling you. Because I'm just looking at the rest of these teams. And sure, they're ahead of us in the standings. But I think context is going to matter now more than ever. And, NBA fans on Twitter, they're void of context, right? So last night I kind of was rooting for the Clippers to win. I don't think it matters. I think we're just going to pass them anyway. They play on Sunday. Hopefully they can lose. We get right back into the top 6. And once they start to get back into the top 6, we can really start to look at that 5th seed, right? And you see, here's what's going to happen, right? Let me tell you what's going to happen. 7th seed, 6th seed, all of that. So you see this 22, 21, 21, 21. You know what's going to start to happen? You see if we're in the 6th seed right there, there's a 5-game difference between us and these other teams right here, 4-game difference or whatever. You know what's going to start to happen? What you're going to start to see happening, Bruce, CJ?
Yeah.
What's going to see happen?
Yeah.
People are going to start dodging.
Irk.
Yeah.
I don't think people know it, Irk. You know, I'm going out on a limb, but I think the Warriors are finishing in the top 4. And I think because I know teams are dodging Irk, you've seen reporters say it, like DeMarcus Cousins has been on TV saying it. Hey, you don't want to play the Warriors in the first round. I think teams are going to lose games here and there. Yep, I agree.
It's amazing, man. Absolutely amazing.
It's no coincidence, bro. 7-1. Irk, point in time, we were having this conversation a few weeks ago. Where do we realistically see the Warriors doing with the last 27, 28 games? They're 7-1, Irk. So you do the math. Is it far-fetched to think they can go 14-2? And if 14-2 becomes a possibility, it won't be far-fetched to think 21-3, if not better.
14-2.
They are 7-1 right now. So 7 out of 8 games they've won. Who's the
You're
thing?
saying from the point that Jimmy joined the team, if we
Yes.
go 14-2,
Yes.
where do you think that lands us then?
Me genuinely, you're finishing as the top 4 seed because the Grizzlies are 5-5 in their last 10. If anybody's paying attention,
Let me ask you this, right? I don't want to see the Lakers until the conference finals, right?
Brother, we're not seeing them until the conference finals.
Yeah, but what if they
dog,
skip?
I'm telling you.
Listen, I
They
don't
might
want
skip.
I don't want to see the Lakers until the conference finals, right? How do y'all eat y'all food? Like y'all got the vegetables, you have your
pile up on one
vision,
another.
you have your protein, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, what do y'all eat first? Which one do y'all eat first? Do you eat the vegetables first? Do you eat, the carbs first? Do you eat the proteins first? Which one do you eat first? Which one do you eat last? Chat, rank them for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can even slide dessert in there. So you eat the protein first? Okay.
What if you mix it together?
You mix it. Veggies first. Okay. Me personally, I eat the veggies first. And then I eat the carbs next, and then I kind of mix it in. But I do eat the protein ultimately last. Give me the big piece of chicken last. I want the big piece of chicken last. I want the Lakers last. The Lakers represent to me the biggest piece of chicken. I want them last. Western Conference Finals.
You want KFC jerk chicken?
Oh my God, Lee, KFC in Jamaica is amazing, Lee.
I want it last, bro. I want it last. Give me the biggest piece of chicken.
Is it better than Popeyes? Do they have a Popeyes down there?
Yeah, we got Popeyes down there.
It ain't close to KFC though.
The Popeyes is good. No. In Jamaica, no, it's not. In Jamaica, no. In America, yes, Popeyes is better. But in Jamaica,
yeah,
KFC is the staple.
Wow.
Yeah, KFC is the staple. Popeyes is growing on people.
Brother,
now.
Raising Cane's is better than all of them.
I don't think we got Raising Cane's in Jamaica. I don't think.
No, we don't got Raising Cane's, but
Brother, we got one over here in the fucking East Bay that just opened.
Yeah, Raising Cane's is amazing. I like the sauce. But G, I'm telling you, Irk, I don't even think the Lakers make it to the conference. But I feel you though.
You don't think so?
Nah, bro. I think next year they'll probably be a force.
Bro, I think you underestimate the Luka thing. I think you underestimate the LeBron thing, and I think you underestimate what the NBA is going to do to get them to go to the.
Okay, all right. So now we're speaking in that sense. Okay, I got you. I would have to agree with you in that regard.
So if the playoffs, all right, say we were in the 6th spot, right? So we would play Memphis, correct?
Yep.
Easy 5-game series.
Okay. So 3 plays 6, and then off of that, 2 would play the 3-6 matchup, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so say we're 6, right? So say we just do, right? So we would play Memphis in the first round.
Denver 2 right now. Yeah.
Okay. The Lakers would play 4 or 5. They would play Houston, and then they would play OKC in the second round.
Oh, they're dog walking those teams.
Yeah, they're beating OKC.
You think they're beating OKC?
Yeah, I think I'm going to trust LeBron James or any of those over those youngins.
Yeah, I got them over OKC.
I really trust all these vet teams against these young teams, to be honest.
Yep.
Just give me
In the
LeBron James and
playoffs.
Stephen Curry in a playoff setting. That's all I ask.
I would love to see them. I would love to see them in a playoff series.
Yep, that's the big piece of chicken, but it ain't the biggest piece, which is the finals.
I do think like the later you catch them in the playoffs, like the closer to a fair fight you'll get.
Yeah,
But
so
we'll see what the league tries to do, you know.
I don't trust the league, bro. I don't trust the league.
They won a Lakers Celtics finals, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Too, you know what I'm saying? But we just got to take it. That's all. Lakers, Cavs.
Brother, if we actually get another Warriors Cavs finals, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be
Bro,
fun?
with this iteration of the Cavs team, it would be cinema.
I mean, there's a little storyline to be had there, you know, like they whooped on us in the matchups that we had. You got like the guy who was on our coaching staff.
Yeah.
You know?
Wouldn't that be funny if it were the Cavs? However, it's without LeBron James. Bro, you know that's a 2-for-1er, right?
Yeah.
That's the league closing the door on him too.
Mm-hmm.
That would be absolutely 2-for-1, right? So
to get the fifth Earth would be poetic justice.
Yeah.
We would get the fifth against Cleveland, right? So the fifth against Cleveland, that would ring different, right? So we get the fifth against Cleveland. And
I
Cleveland
would think that would be another asterisk added to LeBron, don't you think, Irk?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Because remember, like, they love to tell you, like, oh, this team craters when LeBron leaves and all that. Remember that narrative?
And then Donovan Mitchell just makes it immediately. You crazy?
Yeah, I need that to die, man.
Bro,
I need that to die.
If that happens, wow, that would change the course of basketball forever.
I need that to die.
Yo.
That narrative needs to die. 100% that needs to die.
You would think that the league would want that Steph versus LeBron matchup to be as late as possible. I don't know how you would have to organize the seating or whatever to make it happen in the Western Conference Finals, but you would have to think after last year's playoffs that they need those ratings. Because if you remember last year's playoffs, the viewership wasn't, you know, nearly as good.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it was like laughably down last year. Shit crazy.
What was that, Art?
I think they need one more year out of Stephen Brown, bro.
Yeah.
One more year out. I think it's in their
and
best
ideally, I think they need somebody to become like a you know, to kind of like put themselves on the map with this playoffs, like outside of them too.
Yeah, I think they need it, man. I think they need it.
Nah, I'm not begging for corruption. What I'm saying is like, I think in their interest that they would rather it happen, you know, later than like the first round because they like the ratings and shit. I'm not saying that they're gonna do anything about it necessarily, but yeah, I do think like they need that. It's a kind of like a stimulus package. Like you even look at the games where they face each other in the regular season, like it's always gonna be among the best viewership. And then if a young guy or like a new star or some guy who's kind of been there, if he could kind of like add to his story so he could kind of like take that face of the league title or whatever, maybe not quite that, but like, you know, put himself on the map. I think that's kind of like what the NBA needs from like a marketing standpoint, because these guys are on their way out, and yeah.
Don't you think they
No,
tried to
Steph
do
put
that?
himself on the map. You know.
No, I know Steph put himself on the map. I'm just
Don't
saying.
you think they tried to do that with Ant last year?
Yeah, I was
Oh
literally
no,
about to
Ant
bring up
was
Ant.
yeah, but Ant was, to his credit, he was fucking cooking last year.
Yeah, 100%. I think Ant put himself on the map last year for sure. And you know what? For me, I know I hate to like change the subject a little bit, but
Yeah.
for me, if what OKC is doing right now, if Shea doesn't like deliver or whatever, I'm gonna start looking at them a little sideways. Maybe I wouldn't have these expectations if they weren't like winning in the way that they are and the conversations that is getting put in. But I'm gonna start like having a little doubt in them if like if they just like fizzle out in the second round or some shit. Like I kind of expect them to get to the conference finals at least. Maybe that's I don't know. I don't know what kind of grace y'all give them, but you know how like Stephen A had that list of like who needs to deliver, blah blah blah. I really feel like you got to put those guys, like the Thunder, on that list. Like I get that they're young, but is that a hot take?
No, that's not a hot take at all.
Like they're having. There's some people who put Shea in these conversations where he just like leapfrogs, Steph and some of these other guys. It's like, yo, he hasn't done anything yet. Now I hope he does something big because I think he's a talented player. But what is that going to look like? I want to see.
Look at this. Look at these adjusted numbers. So I think this is adjusted for what is it? Net points per 100 possession, fourth strength of schedule. So this is the strength of schedule adjustment. So right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're the 11th best. Oh, it was right here. So we are the 11th best team in the league right now in terms of this number.
Can you adjust it for the last 8 games?
I'm not too familiar with the site. I'd have to play around with it. But even if I go to NBA.com, it's going to be like, matter of fact, I was looking at that earlier. Here we go. Last 8 games. Let's do that. They just don't do the strength of schedule adjustment here. But
yep,
we are fourth in offense.
2 in defense.
We are second in defense.
A lot of Lakers up there, bro.
They're sickening, though.
Got to give them credit, man. They're playing defense.
Sickening.
The net rating, though, is kind of interesting.
Yep.
Look at that. 15.9. God damn. Do you guys think that defense holds for the Lakers?
I don't think so, but we'll see. With Luka in the backcourt, I just don't see it.
When you watch them, right? So, okay, before they had Anthony Davis, right? And they were kind of doing the thing or whatever, right? Now, they had Anthony Davis. He was their anchor. So what's the backbone of their defense? Like us, it's, Draymond Green, these other teams have, like.
Yeah, they have like an anchor.
They have like an anchor. You know what I'm saying? Like whether you funnel, they're playing help, whatever, right? So what's the strength of their defense? When I watch them,
Would you argue it's the schemes?
So if the strength of their defense is purely the scheme, can't you just bust up a scheme then?
Yeah. Like that's why I was trying to tell people like it was a good win versus the Nuggets, but don't get too ahead of yourself because they pulled out a playoff scheme in the regular season. So now you basically showed your hand to the Nuggets. So like if you get matched up with them in the series,
yeah.
Now you showed them what you're gonna try to do. and now they have all this time to like to counter that because now you have to think that other teams are going to try it too. So now they have all this time to like prepare for that. I think a big part of like coaching that people don't understand, like in the regular season, where they give coaches flack, is like a lot of the times they're trying to save their best schemes for the playoffs. You know what I mean? And I think that he's been scheming his ass off lately. And I give him credit for that because it's helping them win these tough games. But I do wonder if it holds. I'm not saying it won't hold. I'm saying I wonder if it'll hold. Because like, when you get to the playoffs, like for one, schemes are gonna get busted, and that's fine. Like a scheme can still buy you a couple seconds on a shot clock, but like at the end of the day, you're still gonna have to be able to guard your dudes. You're gonna have to stay in front of your man. You know, can they do that? Especially running a lineup, to start and close games with Luka, Reeves, and LeBron. Like you could put out two defenders, and you could say that Reeves has been playing decent defense, but like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It just feels like a lot to cover. Maybe they could do it. I'm not counting them out. I'm a pretty reasonable guy, but if we're talking about question marks, that's like a question mark that I have for them. And just so y'all know, I'm not biased. I literally brought up the question mark of the Pods and Moody thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to see it in the playoffs. That's just where I come down to it. I think against a veteran team. I want to see it against us.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've been thinking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see what they go do against Steph. Like that's going to be the determining factor. And that's going to come down to the Western Conference Finals. So I guess their defense is good, but I just want to see what is it going to be like against us with this team now.
I want to. You know what I want to see it against? First, I want to see it against either the Nuggets or the Clippers, especially the Nuggets. And the reason why is because you know how that's like the hump they just quite couldn't get over the past, few years.
Yeah, we saw it last Saturday. It looked pretty good.
Yeah. So I want to see it, and I'll give them all the credit in the world. I'm not like really like the kind of person who's just like disingenuous with my takes, even if I don't like a guy. Like if they pull it off, they pull it off. But I want to see how they beat one of those kind of vet teams. If we get matched up with them, I want to see how they try to scheme us too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think with these OKC, Memphis, Houston teams, I think any of these vet teams like the Nuggets, the Warriors, the Lakers, it's gonna be food for them. It's gonna be food.
Yep.
And like I really, and another thing, how we were talking about the standings and like moving up and whatnot.
yeah.
Don't you guys think like in order to crack the 4 or 5 seed, because technically you could go to 4, but what it would depend on is the 4 and 5 seed. They would have to like whoever's in the top 4 or 5 seed, they would have to like really start losing games. I think you can get into the 5 seed if one team starts losing a bunch of games, but if 2 teams start losing a bunch of games, then you could go as high as the 4 seed or whatever.
All right. Give me a win total, because when you say go as high as, I think if we're saying 4th seed, there's not that much difference between the 4th, 3rd, or the 2nd seed. 1st seed is out of reach. But give me a win total, because at first I thought the best case scenario would have been 50 wins for this team.
No, it may be higher than that.
You think we can win 50?
How many games are left? Doing the math right now.
52?
We play
22.
So if we just win out, right? Like if we absolutely win out, how many games would we win? If we just win out?
22 games left.
54? Oh,
It'd be
55?
54. It'd be 54,
How many
55.
games are left?
22.
Is there really?
I thought it was 23.
It might
Okay.
be 23. Let me do
So
the
we
math.
have 24 losses. So 55 would be the absolute best scenario. 55 and 27.
Yep, it's 23. So
Yeah, it's 23. I just did the math.
That was the Chicago Bulls record in 1994 when Jordan retired.
So if we went like 20-3, what would that put us at? That would put us at like 52 wins.
Yeah.
I
So
think
say
that's
we,
very plausible.
say we had 3 more losses, right? So that would be what, 50?
52,
So 52 and 30?
52 and 30, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
If
In that
that's
span, we would need those teams, at least one or two, to like go on a skid, like a
we,
real skid.
we'll be the 4th or 5th seed for sure.
All right. Let's do this. What happened last year? Because I think what happened last year is really mirroring what's happening this year. '51 got the 4th seed last year.
There you go.
5th seed. 56, 57, 57. I don't think you see 3 teams like this. Well, no, OKC is way out there. So how many teams do you think wins 55 in the West?
55, probably 3 teams.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because don't all these teams ahead of us in the standings, don't they have harder schedules?
They do.
They're among the top of the league in strength of schedule.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of these games are against each other too. So like you kind of need like one of these teams to like prevail, and then the other teams to like start skidding.
The Laker one is about to get nasty, bro. Like their schedule is about to get crazy, but I don't think it makes a difference.
No, they got the personnel to overcome it.
I think
they might be the team that prevails, you know?
I think with them, attrition has to hit them. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
That's the key, yeah.
I think they have too much high-end talent to just lose.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like attrition has to hit them. Like
you know what's crazy, Irk, is how the Suns are 3 games out the 10th seed, man.
Yeah, they're probably done.
That's absolutely wild.
And don't they have like the hardest strength of schedule remaining?
Yeah, man.
Like at first it was the Lakers, but I think after their last few matches, now it's the Suns.
You know what's crazy? Last year is kind of similar to this year, especially for the Phoenix Suns, because I remember I was looking at their schedule last year and I was like, oh, they're fucking fried, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they started to just win those games. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they stepped up to the challenge and they just started to just flat out win those games.
And then attrition caught in.
Now I'm looking at them, and it's not even like an attrition thing, but it's more like they just let go of the rope. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Most 50-point games after turning 30. Steph Curry has 9.
Where's LeBron?
He's not even on the list.
He's not on the list. Okay, so the strength of schedule list right here. We got Phoenix, number 1, Sacramento, Denver, Portland, Lakers, Clippers. I'm just reading West teams. OKC, New Orleans, Memphis, Dallas, Houston, Golden State, and then all the way down second to easiest is Minnesota. You see, the only thing about that is with Memphis and LA Lakers having harder schedules and then Houston having an easy one, I don't really trust Houston to win these games, bro.
All right. So look at it this way. So Houston has us once, right? Like we played them a lot this year. Jesus. All right. So
yeah, I think 5 times.
We played them 5 times?
Yeah, I believe so.
No way. What?
Yeah, we're like 3-1 versus them right now. because OKC because of the in-season tournament.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And we should have fucking won that game, man.
Yeah.
It probably was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, that's true.
All those losses at that particular time got us Jimmy. So
Yeah, I kind of feel like, say JK didn't get hurt, we probably would have won a few more games. Like 4 or 5 more games out of that stretch. Still roughly 500, but just a little bit better. I think you could argue that might have been good enough for them to be like, let's not make a trade. You know what I mean?
Nah. They were gonna make the trade regardless.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to look at the bright side, like, hey,
Yeah,
this
because
all led to us getting a trade that made us better, so
even when we were like a top 3 seed and we were like 20 games in or some shit like that,
they were talking
about trade.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they were talking about trade, and because I was talking to somebody behind the scenes and I was like, hold on, you see what's going on with Jimmy? And I was like, are you sure you want to trade for Jimmy? And they're like, yo, that's what they're saying. They're saying like they're looking at Jimmy, right? And I was just looking at the season that Jimmy was having, and he was in all that turmoil, and I was like, oh, are you sure? You know what I'm saying? I was like, are you sure that's the best guy? And they were looking to go that direction. So they were right and I was wrong, because I wasn't sure about Jimmy at all, bro. I was not sure. Pie in my face, though. But good pie in my face. Good pie in my face, because he kind of fit really nicely, to be honest with you. So we look at the Lakers. They got OKC twice. Do you think they win both of these OKC games? Chat?
My bad. I'm spraying off my boat.
No, you're all good, bro.
Who's playing OKC twice?
Damn Lakers.
They won at least one.
I don't want to see the Lakers until the West Finals. So I'm trying to think, in what matchup do I want them in? I think the worst case scenario is that we finish in the 6th spot, just based on what I see right now.
100%.
That's the worst case thing. I don't even care if the Lakers are the 2nd seed. Well, if they're the 2nd seed, no, I think I want them at the 4th seed. Yeah, I want them at the 4th seed. What's the best case scenario?
They could realistically hold the 4th seed.
Huh?
I was saying they could realistically hold the 4th seed.
So the best case scenario for us to avoid them until the West Finals, it's really the even numbers, right? If I'm doing that correctly.
Depends on where we see that, right?
So say we're the 6th seed, right? Say we're the 6th seed. If we're the 6th seed and they're, say, the 4th seed, 6th seed, they're the 4th seed. So 2 would play
7.
2 would play 7. 2 then would play 3. 2 would play 3. The winner of 3-6. Yeah. I think I want them at the 4th seed. So for us, it would have to be the 4 and the 6. It would have to be the 4-6 seeding. And then because they're the only team that I'm looking at. Because I just know what's going to happen in the playoffs, right? They're just going to go in there or do you think they can beat OKC in a playoff series? Bro, let me tell you something.
The Lakers?
Yeah.
Yes.
if the Lakers beat a fucking plus 12 team, being a plus 1 team, that might be one of the best upsets I remember seeing. Chat, what do you think?
Statistically, it would be, but if you watch the games, not really.
Statistically, it would be crazy, actually.
Yeah.
Not kind of crazy. It would be absolutely crazy them beating them like that.
But it will also kind of devalue this era if you think about it. Because all these numbers are inflated. And these dudes have the best net rating in NBA history right now, and to lose to the Lakers, like that would be an indictment on the entire era.
Cleveland has won 9 in a row. Jesus Christ.
They just, at the beginning of the season, I was so wrong about them. I thought they were super fraudulent, but they're a really great team. At least in the regular season.
Right? I don't know, man. Like, I guess these teams are good, but a 127 offense. What the fuck is that, bro?
Yep. But that's the first thing you said that made this most sense. Y'all have 2 superstars. You shouldn't be worried about OKC. That is correct.
What the fuck is a 127 offense, bro? Like, what the fuck is that?
That's just ridiculous, bro.
Well, 127 offense? Lee, in what year was that? 2018?
Mm-hmm.
I need a new credit card. In 2018,
weren't the Warriors a 118?
I was listening to a podcast, right? And they were talking about the Houston Rockets, right? They were talking about the Houston Rockets. And they were saying that Houston had a math advantage over teams, not necessarily a talent advantage, but a math advantage, meaning that they just shoot more threes and they just get you. You know what I'm saying? They just get you on the fact that they just shoot threes, right? And they just murder you just shooting threes. And I'm looking at this right now, and I'm like, Boston and Cleveland, do they simply just have a math advantage?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you get to the playoffs and you take away some of that math advantage, does that kind of level the playing field?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So are these teams actually as good as we think they are? That's the question. That is the question.
Because the Pacers last year, didn't they have like the best offensive rating as a team ever?
The Pacers?
No, they didn't. They were 120. Boston had a better one at 122. But then they went down in the playoffs, even though they did make it pretty far. The playoffs reveal a lot of things.
The Pacers, they had the best offense, but then they had like a little patch that was like rough for them.
Yeah. That's crazy. I was looking at the 2016-2017 Warriors. Their offensive rating, bro, it was 114.
What's that Shams news that just came out?
What does that qualify for you today? 114. They'll be the Indiana Pacers today. Crazy.
What's that Shams news that just came out? I've seen some. What did he say? Oh, Jordan Miller. Jordan Miller, 4-year, $8 million contract.
With who?
This kid right here. He's actually pretty good. So,
Oh, Clippers. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm driving, so I couldn't see.
Do you think anyone has a chance at a standard deal? On our team, like Knox and
I think Knox is gonna get an end of season deal, rest
yeah.
of season deal. They've been developing for him for like a year and a half now, with the purposes of bringing him in to the Warriors on the cheap.
So at what point are they going to put? Did they sign Post for the rest? Did they?
Yeah.
Did they put him on a standard deal? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has like a cheap deal next year, but what they might do is they might decline it and put him on a standard, like a 4-year deal on the cheap. Because if he keeps playing the way he's playing, and he's like a unrestricted free agent after next season, a team might swoop in and price him out. Pay him just above the minimum, and then we wouldn't be able to keep him. Oh shit! Somebody's background is loud.
Oh, sorry, that's me.
You're good. You're good.
Hold on.
Yeah, in terms of like the next year stuff, like how we're gonna build out the roster, I've been doing tons of math. Like I have an idea of how we're gonna build out the team.
Appreciate you, Lee. Appreciate you, brother.
Oh, you got it. Right on.
Yeah, man, just got it. That's what I was opening up. Appreciate you, brother. Couldn't make it there myself, so my guy got me, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, Lee got it. I just threw it away. Yeah. Jay Cooper, what up?
Been listening to this conversation. It's been interesting listening to y'all.
I think I want y'all to get the Fort CJ.
I want 2 rounds. I want 2 more. I want 2 rounds of home court. I want the 2 seed.
So you want the 2 seed? I mean, it's possible.
I would. It's not. I think Denver gets the 2 seed, unfortunately. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the Denver Nuggets get it too.
Don't y'all play them?
They're but their schedule is funky, and they just win regular season games, man. They just do.
What if they skid to the 5th seed and you guys get the 4 seed, or you guys skid to the 4 and they get? And
I want Denver. I want to play Denver.
The 5th and you guys get the.
I want to play Denver,
or they get the 4. I think that would be a hurdle that I would like to see how you guys handle. Like that's a playoff series I would watch. Because I feel like anybody matching up with the Rockets or like the Grizzlies, I feel like it could potentially be a snoozer. But like Nuggets Lakers, that would be cool. There's like lore there, you know what I mean? There's a little story.
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think OKC metrically, Urkel, is just like Boston last year. We thought, Boston's not going to win it. They're supposed to win it. Like no team at this level has ever lost the title except you guys.
What do you mean?
That's what I was saying. That you kind of have to put those expectations on them. So if they don't make a shake this year,
no one's been a plus like you guys have and lost the title except you guys. You're the only team that's ever lost the title in 2016.
Like a plus of how much?
Is he in a blender?
That's ever lost the title. Yeah.
A plus of how much?
I think it's above plus 11. You guys were above a plus 11. No team's ever lost that.
No, we were
lost the title.
No,
except y'all.
We were a plus 11.
You were not a plus 11 when you guys won 73 games.
We're like a plus 10, and I wasn't a plus 11.
That year, didn't the Spurs get like 67 wins or some crazy shit too?
Yeah, they lost too. Yeah. Utah was like
sprung his ankle.
Utah was like a +9, and they lost in 2021. You know who I view Cleveland like? I view them like that Utah team, because that Utah team was just busting shit up. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah, that was the Donovan
again,
Mitchell team too, right?
bro, like every year. Go ahead.
But they're defending though, and they're playing different kind of defense than what Utah was playing.
Bro, let me tell you something.
So-
Every year, I look at one of these teams, or I always look at one of these teams, and I'm like, that's a math team. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I seen that Rockets team, you'll have a team that will start off great and they'll have a pretty good year, and then it gets to the playoffs. You can't really rely on the math anymore, right? So there's a couple of those math teams in there, and the Rockets were one of those teams, although they were pretty good. And then, you know, I saw the Utah Jazz. There's been a couple of math teams in there, man, where they just shoot a bunch of threes and spread the court. You know, they're okay on defense. They're passable on defense. They're pretty good on defense, actually. And then some weird shit happens in the playoffs. The flaw gets exposed, and then they look regular. Happens. It's kind of the trend that I've seen maybe the last, I'm going to say 6 or 7 years. Always a team like that. They don't really have a star. Like, they have a star, but it's not like a
dude.
Like a dude. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's a top 7 person. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, does Cleveland have a top 7 dude?
Because their best guy is Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if he's a top 7 player.
Is he a top 10 player?
Probably not. No.
I don't know, man. I think you're underrating him.
I think in the playoffs
he's going to be top 5. He's going to be top 5 in MVP voting.
Yeah, in the playoffs he's a riser. I'll give him that.
Where do you have him ranked though? Like if you were to rank him, where would you have him ranked? I'm not saying that he's not a guy, but where would you have him ranked?
Yeah, I'd say like the 12, 15 range. I don't know. I'd have to like really
I think you could say he's top
math that shit
10, Urkel. I think you could say he's top 10 this year.
Top 10? Nah, bro. Like, are you sure that he's top 10?
I don't know, Urkel. Like, he's going to be top 5 MVP voting. And I think we're just saying this because he's playing in Cleveland. If he was playing somewhere else, we wouldn't be saying this.
You know, that could be a point.
He's played really, really fucking well, man. He's played really well. And he's defended this year. And we're not noticing that because I'm going to be honest, I don't watch a lot of Cleveland games. I don't particularly want to watch him. You know, look what he did yesterday. Look what he did yesterday against Boston.
I don't know, man.
Put 40 on him. Urkel, he put 40 on them at home, brought them back from 20.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
You don't really like giving anybody. Everybody's not that good. So, you know, I get the narrative. Nobody's really that good. So
I don't know, man. I don't trust it. Don't trust it.
Hey, at the end of this clip, look at Jimmy.
Stephen Curry. Wow. Yes, sir. That's big time, fellas. A lot of great contributions up and down the board. We're going to start winning all these close games now, all right? We got a feel for it, and you guys closed it tonight. We're going to keep doing that over and over again. But great start to the trip. Go get another one. Yes, sir. Just up. 1, 2, 3. Just up. Win them all. You'll win the first one. Yes, sir.
That boy Jimmy was out of it.
Do you think it's because he had a bad game? Otis is back. Yeah, why did people get mad at Buddy because he was singing?
He was glazing. That's why. But folks could make goat noises in the locker room, and that's considered okay. All right.
Remember when Kyle Kuzma crowned LeBron?
Yeah, that was totally accepted.
He should have lost Winnie Harlow just because. All the man said it was very entertaining. That's all he did. He ain't put
So
no
Lee, can we talk about when you guys were talking about our defense?
Yeah.
So Lee, I find it very interesting, right? So, which I find it as a false thing. So you keep saying, let's look at our last 8 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
How we're playing, right? And when I say, let's look at the last 20 games the Lakers have played, you ignore that. You don't find that an issue?
Where did I ignore the last 20 games?
No. What I'm trying to understand is you said, well, their defense isn't real, right? I don't know. But when you look at the last 20 games, you're like, that's not real. But your last 8 games are?
Well, I'm looking at the personnel because Anthony Davis is gone.
But Anthony Davis hasn't played in 16 of those 20 games. And if you look at those 16 games without Anthony Davis, they're the number 1 defense in the league.
Mm-hmm. And they had
what am I missing here? And then you're playing. Wait, hold on. Also, you're playing with everybody on the court is over 6'5" or 6'6". The shortest guy on the court is actually Austin at 6'5".
Mm-hmm. You know where I'm doing my math, Jay? Those are good points.
No, this is not your math. Oh, so there's some different math that I don't know about?
You telling me what I'm trying to converse to you. Like, let me explain. I'm looking at Luka being there at the 1, and I'm like, I'm not sure how that was going to work in the playoffs. We both know how Luka is on defense.
Sure.
So, and the fact that AD is gone, those are the 2 things I'm looking at. But
So last night, Luka wasn't playing defense, and the last two nights he wasn't when they held both teams to 102 points.
Mm-hmm.
And they've actually the last 5 games. The last 5 games with Luka's been in, even though they lost one of them, they've actually haven't lost any of them. They've held all teams the most they've scored is 102 points in the last 5 games.
I'm going off of 6-year sample size of his defense.
So gotcha.
That's why I don't know if it's real or not. So I wanted to see how playoffs. But if you believe it's real,
but see, you can't say that the size on the court doesn't impact. There's just size on the court. So that
you're saying things I don't say. You're interjecting and say you said 20 games that were good. I never said that.
You asked why is this happening?
I did not say that, Jay.
But you asked earlier. Why is this happening? And I'm like, couldn't the size on the court be the issue?
I did say that, but I didn't say the things that you just put in my mouth. I did not say. So repeat to me what I said specifically. I can speak to that.
It's just fake because they don't have AD. That was your argument.
Yes, that's my argument.
Okay.
I got to see it happen in the playoffs. You guys have been playing.
So would you say? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you guys a question.
Yes,
Do you think OKC really is that good defensively without an anchor? Would you say OKC has an anchor?
But OKC, like from 1 to 5, can play defense. They don't have a weakness in their defense like Luka.
Or
am I wrong?
Or Reeves isn't even. He's not even a negative. If you look at Reeves' numbers, he's actually like a slight positive defensively this year. Yeah. So that's interesting. Keep bringing that up.
It's very interesting. I just want to see it happen in the playoffs. That's it. I'm not saying you guys are playing fake defense or anything. I just don't know how real it is yet. I just want to see it in the playoffs. That's all. You guys look.
So the last 2 nights were real on a back-to-back when you had 2 starters out, basically.
Jay, what y'all did Saturday was a masterclass defensively. And you gotta, and I will admit, I'm not a fan of LeBron on the Lakers, so there's a little bit of bias there. I can acknowledge that. But
I'm a Laker fan, so I'm only looking at this through the prism of I'm a Laker fan, and I'm looking at my team, and I keep going, well, they keep winning games, so I'm trying to figure out.
No, Jay, you have reasons to actually come back the way you do to me right now. I understand your points, but all I'm saying is this: I just need to see more of it because AD's not there. That's all.
What if AD was the problem defensively for the team?
That would be very interesting, and that would be wow. That would just change.
What if funneling all the time makes your players lazy? When you play funnel defense, when you play funnel defense, it's actually a lazy style of defense because then you're relying on things to take place.
Yeah, it's a cascading event that takes place with your defense.
Correct. And then if that doesn't hold, then you say, oh, they're not defending.
Yeah.
Because the design of it is the guard goes, okay, I'm just going to funnel him. And so to my guy at center,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it doesn't help that 80 falls down 90% of the time on every play. And so they get beat transitionally. You know what's interesting? Their transition defense has gotten, since 80's left, my God, it's in the top 5. How did that happen? Maybe it's because he's not on the ground every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are good points, Jay. Like I said, I want to see what it looks like in the playoffs. You guys have looked great defensively the last 20 games.
Now, here's the funny part, right? So when AD now plays next to 2 big guys, Dallas is going to look really good defensively. Like you saw it for that half. Like so when he has bigs next to them, it's going to do real well. Like, they're going to play real well.
Okay. I just want to see. That's all. But you guys look great defensively the last 20 games, I will admit.
Now, I think you guys do a little bit of it too. You guys let teams shoot threes too, by the way.
No,
So
we do a lot of corner threes up. Yep.
So I have a question about that, Urkel. Like we're both doing that style of defense, by the way. Have you noticed this?
What's that style of defense?
Where we just let teams shoot threes. Like you're picking a guy that you want to shoot more threes than the others. Is basically what you're doing. You're leaving certain guys open on the court every time, down court, and you're doing the math that they can't hit the shot consistently.
That's what happened in the Magic game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With Pablo.
Not a bad strategy.
I mean, that's what we do. If you watch last night, that's basically what we did last night for the Clippers.
Yep. Jay, you have good points. Like I said, I just want to see in the playoffs, bro.
I just talk about it from a basketball point of view. I'm not talking about a LeBron, Steph point of view. Because I just don't think that's basketball. That's not a basketball conversation. That's a circle jerk conversation. That's never ending.
This guy. The thing is, the conversations lend to that because those are the 2 best players in the sport. So it's always going to come.
Sure. It doesn't help that you know.
In the MCU, you'll appreciate this reference. Daredevil gets a lot of notoriety for his series, but at the end of the day, it comes to Thanos and Iron Man at the end. It's always about those dudes at the end because they're the stars. There's only so much content we could do on the lower level players, bro.
So let's talk about LeBron. LeBron Urkel, I don't know if you noticed, he's been playing that Draymond role defensively. How sustainable is that in your eyes?
Is he even there?
No, he's not there.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. I'm listening.
And what do you think about that? Like, he's actually been doing it for like the last 3 weeks.
For them to win, that's what he's going to have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he's more off ball than he's ever been in his career. Like his on ball production has dropped significantly in the last month.
Let's look at that.
Basically, he's a 3-and-D player. You guys notice this, right? He's doing more catch. Bro, he's been doing. You know how many catching? You know how many catching threes he's been shooting?
Stop it, Jay.
Bro, pull up the numbers. Let's do it.
LeBron is now 3-and-D.
Let's pull it up. Let's pull up the numbers. Numbers guy.
He's a 3-and-D guy. Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Guy
god.
averaging 29, 11, and 7 is now a 3
Yeah,
and D.
man. He's a 3-and-D. He's 3-and-D, man. He's 3-and-D. Catch and shoot.
I watched the game just
Drive
as
to
much.
the basket. Catch and shoot. Drive to the basket. Averaging 27. The most elite 3-and-D player in the league. Let's go.
Let's see the attempts from 3.
Stop it. 3-and-D. He's taking 7 threes a game for 44%.
I know. That's pretty good, right?
All right. Well,
pretty good. Pretty 3-and-D.
you put him behind the
I like Trump.
Let's do that. Let's put him behind the 3-point line.
That was a good Trump
Well,
impression.
and then he just drives. And then he just drives to the basket. It's 3-point shots. It's math, man.
So you expect him to shoot 44% from 3-point line in the playoffs?
Look at his cat. No, actually, do you know that he's in the top 3 in catch and shoot threes this year?
You got it, man.
Wow, this is crazy when you bring this
Ron
up.
Thompson. Ron Allen.
That's right. That's what he is, man.
Yes,
Rod
sir.
Curry.
See, I'm a Laker fan, so I could say these things, and it's like I'm like, yeah, that's what he's doing. He's a 3-and-D player,
You got it, man. 3-and-D.
playing defense, shooting threes, drive to the basket. Good stuff.
You got it, man.
He is adjusted his game. Basically, he's scoring better. He's scoring more efficient too since Luka's got there, which is kind of crazy. Isn't that weird, Lee? Crazy.
11-game sample size. I'm not ready to celebrate yet, Jay. The thing is, I'm celebrating with the Warriors because I know what it looks like.
Oh,
I know
because you know what it looks like because it's 8 games.
I know it's sustainable. I've seen this before. I haven't seen this with LeBron shooting 44% from 3 over a series in the season.
Luka unlocked LeBron.
He did. True story. He unlocked him. Luka unlocked LeBron.
Jimmy had a wrap around his mid back after the shoot around this morning. He remains questionable with back spasms. Yeah, that's what his face was grimacing.
Rui's going to be out a week and a half, by the way, 10 days. They're not going to fuck around with a knee strain.
I don't know why they don't have JK just play.
DB3, I think Austin may not play tomorrow. They may just be precautionary because it's not a strain. It was just calf soreness, but we'll see.
Let me see something there. Where are we?
Everybody, the Warriors made a huge.
So you guys are talking about, you know what's interesting, Erkley, when you said that when we play these tough teams, do you think that's where Luka is going to come into hand? Like he just plays better against better teams?
He might. We'll see.
Yeah.
Let me.
He said last night he said he feels a little bit little bit better each game. Like it's coming to him each game. He said that last night.
He's also lost weight, so
that
I hope he feels better.
I mean, well, no, it's mostly like the leg, man. He has no legs, Urkel. When you know what's crazy is when you lose weight too, you actually lose strength in your legs at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't have the legs yet because his body's adjusting to the loss of weight.
Let me play this.
12 threes. You can see those highlights elsewhere. We're going to burrow into one particular play that the Warriors seem to be bringing back from their old playbook. This play dates back to the San Antonio Spurs' beautiful game phase, which ended around 2014. This play always starts with the small entering the ball on the left side and then making a shallow cut and coming out the other side until the ball swings back. In the paint, one player sets a cross screen for the big steps up to start a pick and roll, and because this is pre-Dynasty Warriors, Tony Parker is happy to pull up for an elbow jumper. This comes from the San Antonio motion set, and the ball swings from the ball side, strong side, to the other side, the weak side. So this whole set is called motion weak. The Warriors adopted the Spurs motion offense in the Mark Jackson days. This is from MLK Day 2014. Steph enters the ball on one side. He's going to make a shallow cut. To the other side, Klay is going to get in the way of Andrew Bogut's man. This becomes a wing pick and roll. Now you might expect Steph to dribble here and pull up for three since he's got all kinds of space, but that's not how they played in 2014. Instead, Klay is going to get this pin down and he'll take a catch and shoot three. Mark Jackson really ran the Spurs motion offense. One telltale sign is Klay is going to set this cross screen for David Lee, but instead of coming all the way up to set a pick and roll for Steph, which would turn out to be one of the most devastating plays in NBA history, David Lee is going to post up and Steph is going to happily feed him. So when Steve Kerr took over, Kerr streamlined it so Steph would just instantly make a shallow cut. Klay getting in the way of Zaza Pachulia here. And this is full commitment to the Steph pick and roll. Steph goes early. Aw, look how young he looks. Here's Steph running with some young guys. Kelly Oubre Jr. setting the cross screen for James Wiseman. Wiseman setting his wide screen. Steph draws two defenders. And Wiseman with a very athletic finish. The Warriors have run motion weak pick and roll off and on for many years, and Kerr quietly brought it back at the end of the Charlotte blowout. Here's Kerr signaling the play. He sticks arm out bent, and then he cycles his hands. And you can lip read him saying, angle weak roll, weak roll, weak roll. Even though this lineup has experience playing together in Santa Cruz, they've clearly never run this play in this formation. Quentin Post is immediately yelling at Pat Spencer. Pat Spencer is supposed to be standing at the top here. If you remember the play, there's someone at the top and there's someone over here. There's an entry pass and Yuri Collins makes this shallow cut. Well, there's no one over here. So Quentin Post is telling Kevin Knox that he's supposed to be standing here to receive this pass. It also looks like Post is telling Yuri Collins to make the shallow cut. Jackson Rowe is not supposed to be here. He's supposed to be in the lane setting this cross screen for Quentin Post. And you can see Quentin waving Jackson Rowe to come over, please. And that's close enough. Now Quentin Post takes off QP with his big screen. Yuri Collins takes it. QP actually ghosts the screen very nicely. If this defender hadn't jumped, pass over the top, and this would have been a dunk or some good kick out. Instead, he has to bail out. Well, there's 5 seconds left, so Pat Spencer save us, and he does. Which brings us back to last night. All right, here's your final quiz. If this is motion weak pick and roll, where does Steph go on this play, and what happens after that? Hopefully you said that Steph is going to make a shallow cut and the ball is going to swing back to the other side, and then there's going to be cross screen and someone's going to step up to start a pick and roll on the swing. Brandon Pajemski is here, and being Brandon, he sets a real screen. None of this ghost screen business. That means that Betazde gets hung up on Brandon's real screen. QP is free as a bird here, sets a quick screen. Steph takes the screen. Betazde is hustling his way back into the play, but this is too much space too late.
Pause this.
So looking ahead, I expect to see this play in the rotation.
Quentin Post is going to be pretty good, man.
Yo.
Brother, he's a rookie directing people where to
I know.
He's a rookie explaining the offense to play. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, that was it, bro. Mike cooked with this pickup, bro.
You know when I knew he was going to be good? When I saw him making reads out of the pick and roll. And this was probably back in December I saw that. And I was like, hold on. So
24. He's 24, but he's never been in the NBA. This is impressive.
He's making reads, he's making shots, and he's a tall person. That's all I needed.
The playmaking is what's really impressive.
That's all I needed. Because I seen them give him the ball in the short roll. All right, you know when. All right, so back in which year was this? This was back against the Suns, right? Or we didn't play the Suns, but I remember them trapping Booker and them trapping CP. The ball would end up in Bismack Biyombo's hands, and the shit was just it just ended in absolute disaster, right? So I was looking at that and I was like, man, like these dudes are amazing. These dudes are amazing that they trap them and they just took them. Dallas just took them all the way out. You know what I'm saying? Dallas just took Phoenix all the way out because, you had Cam Johnson, Bridges, Biyombo, Ayton. Yet all of those guys, 4 of those guys, that they did not know how to make a decision. They forced them to make decision, and it blew up their whole offense, right? So you see, because anytime I see them trap Steph and they throw it to somebody like Quentin Post and he's making decisions in the middle of the floor, because that's what they're going to do come playoff time with Steph, right? Like, and once you have people in the middle of the floor that can make decisions, it just makes the shit so much harder to guard. Why do you think Minnesota lost against Dallas last year? They trapped and then they just rotated around it, and that's kind of secondary playmaking is so important. So anytime I see anyone outside of Jimmy and Draymond making those reads, I get super excited because it's another guy that can be in a pick and roll with Steph, and he actually sets good screens too. You ever notice, like with these bigger guys, like these taller players, they really don't set that good screens or that good of a screens?
Gets hung up on Brandon's real screen. QP is free as a bird here. Sets a quick screen. Steph takes the screen. Bitadze is hustling his way back into the play, but this is too much space too late. So looking ahead, I expect to see this play in the rotation.
Post said that he played football when he was in Holland. That's why, bro. I'm telling you, those motherfuckers that played football, it's not a coincidence, bro.
It helps with your dexterity.
It helps with your dexterity, and
Soccer,
two,
football, not American football.
Yeah. I say football, but
TJ
so it helps with your dexterity and your awareness, or your spatial awareness, right? Because you get the ball in the middle of the field when you're playing soccer, football, right? You have to like scan the field and survey just to see where, right? And that's kind of what basketball is, Jimmy Butler wraparound is back. Yeah, I saw that. Hopefully he plays tonight. If not, it's probably no big deal, right? We can win the game without Jimmy, right? Do we trust us to win the game without Jimmy?
Brother, the Sixers are ass. Even if Jimmy doesn't play, we're gonna blow them out. I don't expect any.
And that's what I'm concerned about, Ariana, because they're trash.
But they're 18 games and like this man Paul George scored 20 for the first time in a month a couple days ago. That's
what scares me, brother. He hasn't had a good game yet. It may be against us.
And the Sixers are trying to tank, so
yeah, we lost that game against Toronto thinking the same kind of way.
And Utah
won but 6 games, bro.
Yeah, and Utah.
I think this team has a different mentality, though. It's not the same team that was a couple weeks ago.
Man, times has changed. Ariana's more positive, bro.
Is that funny?
Right? Yeah. That's why.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Different day, man. Different day. Definitely a different day. Ariana is more positive. It's hilarious. Oh my God. Ariana being more positive is too funny.
I'm gonna be all over. Did you guys want me to be upset the entire time once we got Jimmy, bro? Like, he's on our team now. I'm gonna be happy now that he's playing good.
Well, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. There are, you know, what drives me crazy about like certain people in the fan base is like their take will be wrong, and you'll see them do the weird shit where they're like rooting against the team because their take is wrong. You know,
Like, I want to be like, if I'm upset about something, I want to be wrong. I want the team to be good, bro. I can
that's
have
my
wrong.
bro. Like, so I was wrong about Jimmy, right? But I'm so glad that I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like
you think we're upset that we're
wasted
wrong?
a year. First of all, I'm not going to lose or make money if I'm wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? Like so many people get so invested in being wrong or right. First of all, a lot of y'all aren't that smart at basketball to have your takes being whether you're wrong or you're right. You know what I'm saying? Don't give yourself that much credit. You're not that smart. Half of y'all have never been in a gym and never picked up a basketball or even sweated on a fucking basketball court. So it doesn't mean anything, bro. Like, we're just fans. All of us are.
Especially since they sometimes run the play for Jonathan Kuminga. Here's Jordan Poole running it. Shallow cut. Chiozza to Bielitsa. The ball swings back. And in the paint, Juan Toscano Anderson, one of my favorites, setting this cross screen for Jonathan Kuminga. JK slips the screen. Jordan Poole draws two. Juan Toscano Anderson's man rotates to try to stop the thunderous dunk. So Juan Toscano Anderson cuts right behind him. Sly little pass from Kuminga. And the finish. And you never know. You might even see Jimmy Butler setting the screen. Here's an example from Miami of their version of motion weak roll. Kyle Lowry, shallow cut to the other side, ball swings back to him. Screen in the paint for Jimmy Butler. Butler setting the pick. Lowry gets two people's attention just long enough. Nice pocket pass. Steve Kerr simplified two complicated motion offenses that he had played in. Kerr reduced the triangle offense to improvisations around split cuts. And then the Spurs motion offense, Kerr took bite-sized pieces of it and turned it into weak roll and head tap. Just simple enough that players new to the system would have a chance at learning it and succeeding. Let's wrap up with our advanced lip reading technology to do a full analysis of Steve Kerr's play call. Angle, weak roll, weak roll, weak roll. We have 5 stroopwafels, 10 for scoring. I don't know, Steve, despite your innovative pastry incentives, they did not run the play right. I suggest next time you offer to drizzle honey on it and warm it up on your cup. It smells like proper execution. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And if you didn't enjoy this video, I promise I'll do better next time.
So last game, right? We started off slow the last game. And you know, cross country, that shit happens all the time. So they came out kind of sluggish, right? How do you think we're going to start off tonight? Because it is, bro, I fear these bad teams more than I do the actual good teams. Angie Stone pass? Oh my God.
What?
What?
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, what happened?
That's horrible.
A singer from years ago, she died.
Oh.
Angie Stone. Wow.
In a car accident. Good Lord. Ugh. She's a singer. Ugh. That stinks. Rest in peace. Did LeBron win Western Conference Player of the Month?
No, they haven't announced it yet.
Carmelo Anthony on why Jimmy Butler gives Steph Curry and the Warriors new life. I think we already watched this. We already watched this, right?
Yeah.
Man. I am just looking at the schedule, and I just hope that they don't fuck around with this back to back. Do you think we can go? I think if we win the next 2 games, us going undefeated on this trip is a real thing. Post used to be a goalie. Yeah, makes sense. He's tall as fuck.
I mean, that's the only position he could really play. He's tall as hell.
Andre, don't say that, bro. Do not say that. Momo, I appreciate the donation. Thank you. Post used to be a goalie, which helped him with the hand-eye. Yeah, that's huge.
It's just the fact that he hasn't even been in the offense that long, and he knows where to tell people where to go. That's
crazy.
If you watch him, he does have an understanding, though. You know what I'm saying? He does have a pretty good understanding.
That's like impressive as hell. Now I know why Kerr likes him.
Oh, so 4 in a row. How far do you think we can stretch this on win?
5 in a row.
Sorry, 5 in a row. Yeah, my bad. How far do you think they can stretch this out to?
I think we beat 76ers. I think we beat the Hornets.
So
I think we can beat the Nets, Pistons, Blazers. We can really go far. If we lock in every game, we can really go far. Like, I'm not joking. I'm not even trying to gas this up.
6, 7, 8, 9. Do you think we can? So the only thing I'm going to question is this back-to-back right here. We win this back-to-back, we're in really, really good shape. And then our next back-to-back is going to be
Denver,
Milwaukee. Yeah.
That's tough.
Denver, Milwaukee. Yeah,
Other than that, it gets pretty easy after that.
How many back-to-backs do we have after that?
One more. LA, Denver.
Right here. Oh, yeah. One here and then one here. Yeah, getting to 50 wins is going to be tough, bro. Because look at this right here. So then we have the 6-gamer.
I think it's possible.
Look at this 6-gamer right here, bro. 6 games on the road at the end of the year. Yeah, that's going to be tough. It's a lighter.
We can only lose 5 more games to hit 50 wins. So out of those back-to-back, say we lose like every other back-to-back or something like that, we can still hit 50 wins.
Dennis, that's funny.
Jimmy Butler being sued over damage caused to property. What the fuck is he doing? Oh, Miami property. Oh, Miami.
What they say do you do?
This is a Miami. He $125K damages in his Miami property.
Paid rent late, didn't allow owner access to inspection.
Oh, so the owner's just bullshitting. Mold issues, damage drywall, and flooring. Okay, so the owner's just being a dick. He's just trying to finesse money out of him. That's it.
This looks like a finesse to me. Yeah, because I own property, and usually when it's shit like this, like mold and drywall and flooring and usually that's my issue, and then I have to step in. Looks like he's trying to fleece.
Yeah, that's finessing, bro.
Yeah, he's trying to finesse. I can tell. Doesn't that sound like shit that the
I
owner
thought the
needs to pay for?
mold. Yeah, that's it's your property, bro. What is he supposed to do with it?
That sounds like shit that damn owner got to pay for.
If I'm renting a property, why do I have to fix the floor? I don't own the property.
Bro, he was paying. Hold on. So he was paying how much for rent? $120,000 a month. What kind of?
That's kind of crazy,
bro. Yo, $130,000 a month for rent is crazy. Oh my god.
That man is using rent for people's yearly salaries, man. That's crazy.
That is a fraction of a game check, though.
Yeah. That man plays one game. He got a month's salary, a month's rent right there.
Golden, what do you say? Let's pitch in for Jimmy's rent. 130. Jesus Christ. How many people don't make $130,000 a year?
The majority of the U.S.
Fuck, oh, man.
130
a year is a good living, though. You know what I'm saying? Like if
you can rent a house.
But if you're a single person in, like, say, LA, that's still a good living, you know?
That's $1.5 million in living.
Yeah, a month, right?
No, a year. Because you pay $150,000, $1.5 mil.
Yeah.
I mean, for him, that's not bad. With how much money he makes, 1.5 is not that bad for living expenses. But why didn't he just buy a home? Like, what's the point of renting?
I mean, sometimes.
Did he know he was going to leave or something?
Luka Magic, you make $500,000 a year. So run me back all that money that I fucking Venmo to you, you fat fuck. How about that?
Is that Sam? He joined literally yesterday, bro.
Yeah. Yo, Urkel. J-Pons, don't worry. Y'all got to lose at some point.
Just beat the Clippers one more time, and we don't need you to win anymore, bro. You can lose the rest of the game for the rest of the year. Just let us get that 6th seed. Let we get in the 6th seed today. Oh my god, that's gonna be awesome.
All we gotta do is win.
All we gotta do is win. We're at 6th seed. Damn, shit moves fast, doesn't it? We were just the 10th seed. Now we're about to be the 6th seed. That's crazy.
What's her name? God damn it.
Lil Nas and
Hannah Montana's dad, on Hood. Miley Cyrus
Billy
dad.
Ray Cyrus.
On Hood. That came out with that Old Town Road.
You was fucking with that.
Get up and I spin this motherfucker just like this with the 5 on my head on Hood. I ain't even gonna lie. I like that motherfucker.
You did.
Oh yeah, that was a hit.
Yo, the world is getting a lot more progressive because we got C-Mac the Loke on the podcast expressing support for an openly homosexual rapper. That's cool.
Oh, it's called that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck her. He's more like a Tekashi 6ix9ine. Fuck her. I liked how the song went, cuz I never knew cuz was gay on Hood.
So that's not cool with you?
That shit ain't nifty on 50s.
See, I think the gaming world needs to get a little bit more open-minded to that. We still got a ways to go.
What's her name?
Crip Mac is hilarious.
God damn. Some people just haven't evolved yet, man.
He said he fought with the song, but he's like, nah.
Yeah.
KD weak ass punch. Let me see this.
They're saying engineers need to African Hub, by the way. Engineers explain this to us. All the way around when you could have probably just gone here, right?
Are people stupid?
No. There's actually a legit explanation for this, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are they dumb? Do they think? What do they think?
No. Because they're saying that as opposed to going all the way around here, right? You just go right here. Now, what
there's a reason they're
happens,
doing that,
right? So, one, there might be a topography issue, right? Or it could just be as simple as they have a cow path, basically, right? So typically they used to build roads based on the cow path, right? So maybe the cow path was to go right here and go around and go up, right? So they typically follow like an outline, right? Where they would have animals track or whatever. And that track would be already traced out. So that's probably how they did it.
I mean, yeah, they're doing that for a reason.
Yeah. It's as simple as that, bro. Like, there's no engineering behind it. There's just like, this was what the path was, and let's go this path. That's all it is. I lived in the country, I know. I lived in the country, I know.
Benjo, you said you're a computer engineer, not that type of engineer.
Engineer, tomato, man. Benjo, are you really an engineer? This man is a crypto millionaire, an investment millionaire.
He said he was a computer engineer. He's not an architectural engineer.
He still took physics, right? Oh, you're a mechanical engineer? It's crazy. That is wild. I remember this. Who remembers this?
And Curry will reset as we approach 3 minutes left in overtime. Curry drives to the basket, throws it behind his back to Livingston. Livingston jump hook, bounces in. Timeout Cavaliers. A 7-0 run to start.
Chat, quick, what year was this?
2018.
Yep. I was at this game, actually. That's the game that
I remember before the series started, LeBron fans said, we're going to win. LeBron's going to go all the way. You don't need Kyrie. Nobody said that. Everybody said that, bro. LeBron fans weren't saying, oh, we're going to lose 100%. Nobody said that.
Pruny told me he has info about me. Sure he does.
So what? He has info about him. What is he going to do with that?
Really? What are you going to do with the info? I got plenty of info about you, buddy. Believe it or not.
I said revisionist history. Yes, we did. We're going to lose. No, you didn't.
Not. We got all types of info. Samuel. Not Samuel, but Sam. I want to disrespect my guy Samuel like that. Don't want to disrespect my guy like that. Don't want to disrespect my guy Samuel like that. It's hard for non. Yeah, it's all good. All right, Ariane, before I go, give me a prediction for tonight. Score.
We win 118 to 102.
118 to 102? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love it. All right, y'all. I will see y'all at 5 today. I'll start up. Or maybe I'll start up earlier. We'll see. Well, let me go do some stuff and I'll connect with y'all later. Let's make it what? 6 in a row? Can't tell the last time we won 6 in a row. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of it. Well, I'll talk to y'all in a few.